All right, I'm done blowing my nose so we can go live with the Sci-Fi Podcast number 45. 45, 45. Took a minute to get to 45, but here we are just tying, combining our minds with our hearts, connecting those two circles, letting whatever come out just come on out like whatever metaphor you could fit right there. Love you guys, love you guys. I got a song that I want to actually start off with. I just got this from the YouTube copyright free library. I heard like 5 seconds. But I think it would be nice to have some grooviness going into this. It's called Sunflower by Latasha. Some kind of thing. This first smoke in the morning. First blow. First toke. Something to get your mind rested on. While I share this page around with the homies, or whoever pops up. You're a homie once you pop in. It's like, oh, it's official. One to invent filters. Invent filters for electronic instruments. Like, yo, this filter nice. It's a wonderful morning. Saturday over here in California. It was supposed to be raining all week, but we got nothing but sunshine. And that's pretty dope. But it is a contradiction, because we ain't had rain in months. So it's like, in this instance, we need it. Where is it? There you go. That was Sunflower by Latasha. Yeah, I like that name. They was able to use that name as a stage name. Latasha. I used to know my friend's sister name was Tasha. And it probably was Latasha, and we always just called her Tasha. Let me post this on, because I just got to segue real fast. Before I go into what I actually titled this. But names is cool. I was watching somebody, and y'all looking at, I was watching somebody talk about Spirited Away. Spirited Away was a cool anime that is still considered one of the best, like, animations of all time, besides just being an animation. It was nominated for one of the only animes like made in not America, in Japan, that was nominated for an American Grammy. Even though Grammys don't mean that much, but it still, to me, shows that it was recognized. It was recognized. And what was big in that was names, the power of names. The evil witch lady was able to control the girl because she wrote her name down on a piece of paper, and then she wrote her name on a piece of paper, and then she took away some of the characters in her name. And then some of the characters that she took away allowed her to not remember who her own name was. So since she didn't know what her name was, she wasn't able to do all the fascinating things that she was able to do before, or even live. She was just a whole nother person. She was a whole nother person. I never really paid attention to Spirited Away. I gotta watch it from top to bottom. I think it'd be really interesting because the details put on into it. It was nice. The way the girl was breaking it down, the way the lady was breaking it, chiming on in, letting us get in tune with what the artist and the director was really feeling it was tied into a lot of Japanese folklore with the yokai, and yokai are like spirits, so it's different yokais that take different forms that he was just brushing all into the into the movie into the movie. So I found that cool because once she was riding a dragon, and the dragon wasn't able to do all the things that it used to do until she gave it its name and then remember who it was. It reminded me of these psychedelic journeys too, and just remembering who we are, remembering our names beyond the name that we was given. Like beyond the Thai name, like something beyond. I did get that name from somewhere else though, so that is kind of my beyond name. But y'all get the point. Like that happened in Alice in Wonderland too. They was saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" When she like went through through the looking glass, she kind of remembered. That was the second one, but the first one, then when she first went down the rabbit hole chasing that white rabbit. Just out of her curiosity, she forgot who she was when she was over there. But it was like it was her first time there. She was confused. She was like, "Who y'all talking about? I am Alex. I am Alex." So it is something cool and powerful. I see in the power of names and naming things. I ran across this when I was learning about when I was getting to Judaism and stuff too. How they name things and the spells and stuff, like the rocks. Like the way stuff is spelled, rocks, like that's what makes it because it's spelled that way, like that R, that O, and that K. And me, Break the Matrix hit me up yesterday. He called me Ty Son Ty, and he's like, yeah. And I was telling him, I said I have about 10 different names. 10 different names. I got Stefan, I got Steph, I got Daddy, got Bro. 3-Eye King, that was my other Instagram name. The 3-Eye King, or 3-Eye K. I don't even Viper, Naga, Captain Naga. I used to say that every episode. It's your host, Captain Naga. But then after that trip, I went from Captain Naga to Ty. I said, I'm just Ty. I am just Ty. And with each one, it was really like a different set of realities going on. And the name that I was realizing in myself is fitting more of the picture of the ideals that I have in my mind space. It was like I was living at this house, and I had this address. It was still my house, but now I live at this house, so it has a different address. And you know how you call a house out by its address? Like, oh, that's 453 Market Street. Oh, this house is 475 Market Street. That's how I see it with names. I'm just naming the landmark, putting a landmark. Wait, let's put this 45 down. Putting a landmark down for where it is, where I am in this point in reality. All right, let me just make sure I shared this to the. I think I did. Yeah, it said posted. Oh, but no, yep. What I mean, no. Names, y'all know names is cool. That's why on social media we always changing our names around. And you see how we respond to different names? How we respond to different names based off of who's saying it. Like, I didn't like when my mom used to keep calling me Steph. I was like, Mom, you keep saying my name in the same exact tone of voice. With the same, and it's always the trying to, and it seems though when people call a name, they know exactly what they're doing internally. Like they're summoning you. They're summoning a version of you that they wish to talk to. I like that sounds cool. They're summoning a version of you that they will wish to talk to or wish to experience. That's why when your friends get hype. I used to have another name, FML. That was my name. Yo, FML. What's going on, FML? I'm trying to share this to. Oh, there it is, the group. I wrote live now and it wrote love now. Nothing but. And then let me post this in alright, there we go. Edit message. Live now, people. We here. We here no matter what. At least right now, we here. But yeah, the summoning the name, the summoning of names, and names that like we love to be called, like they all mean something. Like mushrooms too. We call them mushies. We call them all these names, Dimitri. But like, if we add a character to it, a nuance to it that allows us to be like, oh yes, this is something I want to interact with. Like and it's all up to you. It's all up to your flavor too. That's the power that we actually have over life too. Because some people like calling it DMT or calling mushrooms or calling out chemicals and food items by what they are. I'm tying on Hamilton Morris. If y'all type in Hamilton Morris and go on the Vice, he reps Vice a lot. So if you go with him, he talks from the perspective, like the first perspective of when he's talking about a chemical, a drug, a plant, a medicine. He talks from the basis of how the atoms are aligned in it, and that's what he calls it. And then he goes after that. Oh yeah, diazepam or tryptophan, but he'll talk about the chemical structures and things like that. And that's his name for it because he's a chemist. So it's romantic. He gets more out of it. He gets it gets more of a story that he wants out of it when he addresses the chemicals or the plants by their atomic. That's what it is, by their atomic structure. That's when he's on board. And guys, if y'all ever want to jump in, y'all know the routine. Let me just post the right link. But the Discord is open and the chat is open if y'all want to just jump in, do whatever that y'all seems cool to you. Let me turn off this just in case somebody jump in again. Alright. Oh yeah, guys. Now that it seems to be going a lot more smoothly with the live, as term is the audio not messing up, the video streaming straight through, I'm gonna be interviewing True, my man True. Well, I call him True Life all the time. Like Life is his last name. Hey, True Life. What's going on? But yeah, he's gonna be on here. He asked to be on the channel, and I said I want to get you on when everything is flowing, so that we can really tie on out and not have to worry about technical difficulties or if things is going to get messed up or anything like that. We're just gonna stream it on out, and even when things pop up, we're gonna keep on going. Let me change this to live now. Now, join the convo. I'm posting this on my normal Facebook, so I want to see who pops in. I put live now. My Aunt Tree popped in, liking it. But I want to see how much farther it goes, or not. Well, yeah, he's gonna be on the channel, and we're gonna have video. It's not just gonna be audio; it's gonna be video. And I have some questions that I want to ask him. I have a ton of questions, as if I didn't really ask him already or experience it. But I want to get it out for the record books. I want to get it in one nice interdimensional package. And we're gonna tie it out. I'm not gonna have written down questions all prepared. And like, yeah, so, But we're going to make sure that, I want to make sure that I ask them some cool questions, some cool personal, like, what are you feeling at the moment? What's really going on? So, That's coming on. That's coming on. Cause he's a true as a whole. He's a whole entity, bros. Like sis, tires, family, friends. Like the fact that he exists and is participating in events he's doing is wild. And I mean on overall scale, not just doing the live, not just doing the DMT, not just taking care of his family, not just connecting with people, but and not just keeping himself happy, but doing all of it at the same time. That is awesome. That is terrific. You get to get two tire thumbs up. Two tire thumbs up. I watch a lot of PewDiePie, but where's my charger? It would be now that it's on my mind. Let me go put this on the charger, the laptop. Just clocked me right in my eyes. Cool, it did. Yeah, sorry I missed the live yesterday. I had an awesome dream. An awesome dream where I don't remember all the parts where things was going all fine and dandy. But that's okay to me. I just know it was some cool people popping up. Some cool people from that I actually know. Well, I know actually everybody, but that I know from this reality, face to face. They was there. It was real cool. We was chilling and stuff. But the part that I got out, my grandmom and them, and it was all my dreams are so lucid. It's so lucid that when I pop up, I'm like, oh, yo, I'm back here. Hey. But when I'm there, I'm breathing, I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm thinking about my thinking. Which is probably the part of the trick. That if I can stop thinking about what I'm thinking, I can realize how much it is a dream, which I do sometimes, and I can fly or do something amazing. But this time, in this particular dream, my grandma, my grandpa, my Aunt Marcy, a couple people popped up, and they popped up in my house in California. Mind you, they live 3,500 something miles away in Philadelphia. So in my dream, they appeared. But it was as if they was invited. But they was turned off by the house because it was like little items, like little toys of my daughter and like shoes around and stuff like that. So they took it upon, my grandma took it upon herself to say, man, I can't, like, this is not good. Like, this mess. Like, what's going on with your house? And things like that. And then my grandpa was like, if your Uncle Will was here. My grandpa was like, if your Uncle Will was here, then he wouldn't approve of any of this. And I remember sitting looking at him like, he not even here. He 3,000 some miles away. What does this guy do with anything? So I woke up and the whole day, oh no, jump on, King, guys, jump on. The whole day I wound up just cleaning. I wound up just picking up stuff, vacuuming, getting inside the ins and outs. And I didn't really see it as like a bad thing, like, oh man, they chastised me in my dreams. But I did have some fears going about because I wanted to participate in a DMT ceremony, like ASAP. So with my overthinking self, I guess I'm seeing that in my dreams I was in another reality where it was showing me that something that'll probably relax you more is and I'll pick up stuff, but it was like a really, really like reorganized things, pick up stuff. Not, it's like, let's move the table over here now. I think this looked better over here than this. Like I was in that kind of mode, because as well I had to go to somebody else's house to clean, because that's what I do to make a couple bucks. I clean people's houses. So it was all lining up. It was all lining up on that same day. And I was talking to my mom about it. She said, man, that seemed like my stories, because that's something that they literally did to my mom before. But I didn't think they ever do that to me. But that's what happened in that reality. So I was just tying it into the dream state DMT and everything. I said, hey, that was a message. Let's spend the day clearing some things out, reorganizing. Why not? There's no rush. So sorry I didn't go live yesterday. But that's what I was up to. And then I was chilling with the girlfriend. Make sure everything was cool, because she was going the previous day on the Thanksgiving holiday. So I'm playing out this game. What else? Turn this on. I got some hey, what's going on, Nicholas? Nicolas. I was about to say I'm smoking on some Oh Jesus. I got it just cause the title. Some Oh Jesus. 26%, 26.30% THC. It's a hybrid, grown outdoors.
What up? What
Oh
up?
wow, they harvest this in February. How does it smell? That's why whenever I smoke weed, I can't smell weed. Why is that? Why is that? Once you start smoking weed, you can't really smell it. Did you ever smell something for the first time on mushrooms or on a psychedelic? That's heaven right there. That is heaven right there. It's like, oh, this is what your nose is used for. This is what it's for. It's not just for allergies and boogies. And I actually can smell now. It was an old I guess it was old. It's a Michael B. Jordan movie. He produced it. He didn't write it. He produced it. And it's not so well known as the Black Panther film and stuff, but he was starring in it, and it had to deal with people burning books. I should look up the title of this. Michael B. Jordan burning books. I hope they don't come on no racist stuff. Oh yeah, there it is. Let me tag this over. Michael B. Jordan turns against this dystopian book burning society in a chilling. Yeah, it was on HBO. It's called Fahrenheit 451. A fireman whose job isn't to extinguish fires but burn all books which have been outlawed. Yeah, that movie was cool. Now let me just refresh some memories real quick. In the future, after the Second Civil War, most reading in America is confined to the internet, called the Nine, and most books are banned, except for the simply simplified versions of books such as the Bible, To the Lighthouse, and Moby Dick. Books are ordered to be burned by the firemen who are part of the ministry and an authoritarian dictatorship that blames unhappiness, mental illness, and conflicting opinions on reading the wrong literature. But I brought this up too, so y'all can know my segue, because it was a part where Michael B. started waking up to what was going on. Because he was one of the firemen, and one of the things he was able to do was smell. They made him able to smell, and he was smelling flowers and stuff. I was like, they're showing this muscular man smelling flowers for the first time. But that was funny. It was real. It's real because we all got the same senses, and a lot of us been turned off from them. Especially me with my allergies. Can't smell nothing half the time. And to be in fire and well. Yeah, yep. And another cool thing about that movie, let me see if they got some cool thumbnails. Fahrenheit 451. that I suggest was when somebody was getting caught by a criminal or something like that. It was displayed. Oh, they don't have any. Oh, wait, probably if I type in the Fahrenheit 9/11, y'all gonna see I don't know how to spell Fahrenheit. And I said 9/11. See, they in my brain. They said never forget. And I was like, I think I understand now. Yeah, they don't have it. But when somebody was getting arrested, oh, y'all can't see that screen. When somebody was getting arrested on the show, yeah, they don't have. They displayed it on the side of billboards. Like when you go to, if you've never been to New York and you see how they on the tall buildings how they could display videos, they had like a social media thing, like how I'm right here, and y'all see, and I can show an example. Do do do. Do. Y'all see how I'm right here and y'all chat is right there? Imagine that up on a billboard. Whenever a crime or something was happening or event was happening, they had to post it in like a New York fashion ad form, and it had what people were typing and chatting on the side. They was like, hang 'em, get 'em, this is not right. And that, like, everybody was just participating. It was being broadcast, so everybody was like joining the program, saying or going along with the flow, saying the same thing. Like, it wasn't anybody going against what was being done or nothing. It was like everybody was with the clout. Everybody was with the clout. I was like, that's kind of where we are now. That's why we got to make sure we know what's going on. That we're just aware of the game that's being played. And that we know where our opinions are coming from. Where are we getting our opinions from? Like, our opinions always have some kind of root. It's always a root in some kind of experience. Even with the psychedelic experience, that's even a root. But it's like once you get the psychedelic experience root, it started twisting it all around where it's not just placed in one garden. It's like, this is a garden, but it's not a garden. But it is a garden. Just time. That's how that go. But in other ways, like, opinions mostly come about from a separation. Like, I don't want to feel like this, so I feel like this. I don't want this to happen, so I'm gonna think like this, so now this happens. And that's an opinion, an opposition, that OP. You down with OPP? Down with all these other people opinions? And everybody like, yeah, you know me. I'm like, nah. Not today. Not today. OP. I was typing in what doo. What happens when I type in OP define? We define a lot of things on this show. That don't mean that's what it absolutely means. Opus. What? No, they just try to throw me off. Observation post opposite Roman Catholic audio. Yeah, nah, that's none. There we go, back to 45. But what's going on with What's going on, Nicholas, with your day? Well, anybody's day for that. Let me. I titled this "Everything's Okay." What did I title this? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you're okay. because everything is all right. Everything is just the way it's supposed to be. Even the way I am right now. The way you are right now is the way that it's supposed to motherfucking be right the fuck now. Like, even when you think you slipping, you be like, oh, was it supposed to curse? Ooh, ooh. No, what happened was supposed to happen. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. What up, bro? Just chilling, smoking, and watching True's live from last night. Got it on TV and you on my phone. Hey, multitask. Thanks for the support. Well, thanks for not even just support, for being part of it. For being part of the community. We ain't no community if there's nobody in it. So, that's why everything is always okay. It's always okay. Because for me, it wasn't like this at all last year. And last year, it wasn't like this. I wanted to go live. I couldn't. I didn't have the right technology going on or whatever the cause. I was too upset thinking that I couldn't make it happen. What I'm going to say. Lost in the fascination of watching other people's lives 24/7. And YouTube videos in general. Just staying on, watching what other people was creating. And then once I saw it was okay, I was like, oh, I actually can just ramble on about anything. Or put the pen on the paper and write something. Put some paint on there and do something else. It's all alright. It's all okay. It's all okay, even if it look like a mess. What's a mess to some is a masterpiece to others. You see how many people come down on modern art? Hold on, I was about to... Let me type in some examples of what they call modern art. Because it's wild that people come at it. Like, oh, you just drew some shapes on the paper or something like that. But now looking at it after doing psychedelics, I'm like, yo, this stuff is on point. Let me make sure I can still see what you type in. Hey, Blue Bunny. What's going on, Blue Bottle Bunny Farm? Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. That's what I got. I checked out your link to your music. It was nice. Y'all gotta check out her music. She plays guitar and makes simple music about events that happen in her life. The way it's supposed to be. Real. What happened to you? Now here goes some examples of modern art when I type it into Google. Like, this is all cool. I like this kind of stuff. But to some people, and I say it's a whole bunch of YouTube videos too that's like, that's not art. And I'm like, what do people see? Like, what do people literally seeing something different? Like, where's the joy? I don't know. And like, they don't got no joy. Let me type it in. She said, bro, I went back. Well, I'm gonna wait for that to load and click on this. He said, bro, I went back and watched a few of your vlogs and your edits a few months back. They are so dope, and your venture vibes are contagious. You dosed and went and hiked and climbed the tree. I love climbing trees. It's just how you see things from a new height. You just like, oh, start getting in your Tarzan mode. You ever watch Tarzan? And like, you just see how he was flowing with it. Like, he ain't know the vine was there, but he knew the vine was there. Oh, but that's cool. Thanks for watching them. Thanks for watching them. Cause I really like I really enjoy every single video that I make. But then it's like I go to this other perspective where I just be forgetting about them too. Which is cool, because I don't like to get too caught up, because then I'll just want to create something that just resembles what I did before and try to recreate the magic instead of just going about my business. That's why I like changing my name up a lot. Oh, and some mushies. Is it some trichocoma? Is it green? That's the most common one. That's the most common Catan. How many jars did you make? You gotta make like 12 of them. Believe it. You gotta make like 12 of them. Especially, I'm saying like with first times. With first times, I can't say a lot, but with first times, make like 12 of them just in case. Just in case. Oh, get some try some peroxide and alcohol. Oh, you did that. Cool. Try some peroxide and alcohol. Like cut it out, like hot the spoon up, make till it's red hot, scoop it out, or get a spatula if it's big, and like just try to cut all that part out or something in like the right kind of environment and get it out. But it is kind of hard if you probably threw it away already, because as soon as you touch it, it releases its spores. That's the thing about contam. As soon as you like touch the contam, it's a certain kind of releases spores inside the monotub, and then it's just a goner most of the times. Most of the time. In the past life, I lost a good monotub. I was trying to save it. But I didn't. But my peroxide and alcohol that sometimes help, and then refill the spot with some vermiculite, and then cross your fingers, and cross them fingers. I'm trying. I'll harvest this flush and hope for the best. Or if you have some space, buried it around wherever you live at. Try that out. Leave a couple inches of soil underneath. Oh yeah, we on it. You know, and I got all of this from just tying around on the forums, on Shroomery and stuff like that. People be throwing a whole bunch of tips out there. Because when you think about it, it's people that's been growing for like doing personal cultivation for personal reasons since the 60s. So they've been experimenting, had time to experiment. Probably a lot of people gave their whole life over to experiment. Like, this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Y'all see how it is with people that grow cannabis public, that's coming forward being public. How much of an air, like I watched this show called Disjointed, I think, come on Netflix. And it's about a dispensary. It's a comedy on there. And I like how they make the one hippie guy that grows the weed. He be like talking to his plants and stuff. And all of that is right. All of that makes, I think all it really does have a difference. People act like triche is fatal, but I don't think it is. It's not fatal. And I know that from experience and from like reading people typing, and then other experts coming in like, nah, I still like harvested mine from there. You just have to check to see if it grew up into the stem. Like, as long as your mushy still look the color that the other one's been looking, and I then in my perspective got the thumbs up, the A-OK. But you'd be surprised though. A lot of mushrooms, like even from the same species, I've been noticing like they'll start growing differently. Like sometimes with the albino species, they'll have a kind of brown kind of color after a while. Or the mutations. It's funny to looking at mutations. It's a group on Facebook called mushroom growers, something like that. And it's people that just are doing it for personal reasons, but they post their pictures and ask for tips. And you could do that in the Discord too. Let's start that in the Discord. We can, and it's going on already in True Life Discord. So it's already happening. Go in there and check out some tips and compare notes and keep on going. Because there's nothing official about any of this so far. It's all up in the air. You see, they still coming out with new ways for cannabis, like with these THCA diamonds. I saw somebody with one about this big, and it was just all THCA, and they even had it cut like a diamond for some reason. It's a lot that's going on. What interests me is the elixir of the gods, as it's called in the woods, in the electronic woods of the internet, where you take 3 ounces of mushrooms and you get some 99 proof alcohol or some real high proof grain alcohol, mix them things together, and then evaporate the alcohol out of it after having it sit for a while, and you left with these crystals that you then dissolve back into an alcohol mixture so you can take like a shot of it, like a shot. According to Ozo, the one he's one of the only people I know in actuality that made it. It's like taking 20 grams of mushrooms and it hits you in 5 minutes, just like a normal shot of alcohol. You're like, oh, feeling a little buzz, and it's controlled because you could take a little more. Which when he said that so casually, I was like, that's the goat. That's the goat. Because he was like, and if you want to take a little bit more, I was like, you would just say how it was 20 grams. Unless he was mixing up different experiences, where one time he took a full shot and it was 20 grams, and the other time he was taking a little sip and he felt something, and then that's probably what he did. He took a little sip more. Got 2 shots and you in Kalindi land. And this is wild how Kalindi, we was talking about names, how powerful names are in the beginning of this podcast, 45 Sata, for your subconscious. We was talking about the power of names, and it's fun. It's crazy how Kalindi has his name stamped on the 30-40 gram range. For people like me who haven't experienced that range and saying it in this moment right now, because I don't always say it like that. But you see how it pops up to people that watch a lot of YouTube, like the Kalindi dose. Like he got his name stamped in legend over there. Mystery Ozo, yeah, that's the. Check out his trip. I responded to it on this channel. You can find the link if you go through the Just Todd channel, where I was responding to a 10-gram mushroom trip. And then the person I was responding to was Ozo, and he talked about on Truth's channel. It's a link in the description on there. But he's on there fairly often. Once you hear his voice and it's pointed out, it'll start clicking in your brain, and you'll be like, oh, that's him. He's real animated about describing what the mushroom actually reveals for us and what you can do with it. He tries to get people to really like ring them bells on people's heads. Like, yo, really take notice of what's going on. I'm like, he had a lot of experience he probably don't even tell us about. I know he did. But yeah. Taking notice is cool. Paying attention. Because we see that a lot. Like, pay attention. And what we pay attention to, what we giving our attention to, what we paying it, we're going to get something back. And we always paying attention to something. It's like we can't help but buy something. We always want to buy something. What's next? What's the next event? What's the next movie? Yeah, he goes in on some high doses. Yeah, that's him. And plus, personally, he's a real bro. He's a real bro to me, so it's cool. We all are. Hey, Nicholas, you ever do any mushrooms? Any psychedelics before? Here it is, audio library. Hold on, I'm trying to get it so I can do two. How's that? Oh, Jesus. It's hitting pretty nice. It has a nice flavor profile to it. Like I said, after a while, the flavor kind of go away. So I got to remember how it was tasting last night, kind of. It's still good. It's pretty good. And it's not letting me... It's a hybrid, but I guess it's more of the indica because it's not making me forget things like I usually forget things, or that could just be me doing good right now. Because usually when I'm smoking and I'm tying out loud and I keep on going at it, I say, "Oh, what did I just say? Oh, I forgot." Oh, but here I'm still keeping like a, I'm still flowing, still rowing the boat. Blue Bunny Farm, you say, have you ever taken a personality test? I did yesterday, and I learned I am a ENFP. I don't even know what that is. ENFP. I never taken one before. Meyer Briggs type indicators psychonics. What is that? It sounds like something somebody just made up. uh, nah, they try to show me a whole bunch of things. I don't know. I'll do one just to see what they say. But nah, I labeled myself. I labeled myself. I kind of have an idea of what's going on. But in the past, I would have been labeled. I'd have been labeled manic depression, depressed, bipolar. But yeah, Nicholas, you said you did DMT once, shrooms like 5 times, LSD maybe like 10 times, maybe more. Yo, that seems about my ratio. Like is LSD more than shrooms? I don't know. Shrooms kind of probably caught up by now. I don't be paid keeping track of time enough. What was one of your favorite experiences that you can be able to type out? As they say, what is your most profound exploration? And weed every day. Every day I'm getting high. Every day. I know I did, I really want to run across some acid. It's like when it comes to acid, it seems like I don't care that I could just take it. Like, oh, I'm just gonna take it. Like no preparation or nothing. I remember True saying he had to stay away from, not stay away from it, but he's like, I like it. That's how I feel. It's like I like it. It's like smoking a good ass L, but way more. Like I never got lost on acid. I never got lost. I never had those experiences. I've been in those experiences and had to help other people that was going through thought loops and saying numbers over and over and say like going back to one and saying, yeah, but the one and the two, and just like for hours and hours. I went through that, but I've never went. I guess that's the psychosis. This people was. I don't know. It's all a psychosis to me. I'm just controlling that psychosis. Yeah, I never went off the rails on acid. But I know a couple people that had. I had terrible luck with making DMT. Couldn't make it crystallize, but my naphtha turned yellow. Huh? You should try when it's on the tray. I don't know what point it didn't crystallize at, but I know that once you see, I've been reading. Once you see it on the tray, hurry up and pour all the naphtha into the bottle as fast as possible, into like a reserve bottle as fast as possible, and then turn the tray upside down and put it back in the freezer. And then let it sit for like over an hour after that and see what happens after that. I heard that for like if your DMT dissolves into your naphtha and things like that. But hey, when the DMT comes, it's gonna be right at the right moment. When all this stuff always comes, is at the right moment. It's like, oh wow, There it is. And look how I'm feeling. Right on time. Motions in check. But hey, Nicholas, what you say? You said, man, I had my favorite. Man, my favorite was my first trip. I was just commenting on. I was just commenting on Kalindi's first trip that True Life posted. And I was like, that really is how it is. It seemed like we on the. I don't know if you agree with it, but it's like you're on that same trip since you first did it. Like you're on that same rainbow. And then all this other stuff is just what happens as a result. You said, let me actually read what you said. He said, 100 milligrams of acid, micrograms of acid. I entered the music video I was watching, and they were performing for me. I was able to control the volume of individual instruments and voices. I felt like my body got in a sea of rainbow notes as I slid through them and controlled them, switching from being in the music video, all white room while we all floated. Mahad, Jordan, her. I realized then that those styles of videos made by producers are all made purposely for people tripping. Yo, what's going on, Astro? Mush love. Love mush. Love much tie hey. Love much tie hey. Love much tie hey. That sounds like another language. But that's dope, Nicholas. You said the music video, cause that's how I feel when I'm watching music videos. Cause when I first did acid, and I was sitting in the second time I did acid, and I went in the house, I was watching Teen Titans, and it was like I was in the Teen Titans world, and everything that was going on. Like I was mostly Robin. I was all of them, but I guess I was honing in on Robin because they went into a video game on that show, on the episode that I was watching. They were into a video game, and Robin wanted to play by the rules while they didn't really want to play by the rules. But he said, this is how we gotta progress, and it was like showing me like this is how I was right now, then and there in that moment. Like up to that point, like I was always trying to follow the rules, and that's what I always thought I had to be. But yo, with the music video, them performing, you right. Yeah, you on point, because now when I watch music videos and stuff, I feel as though I'm right there with them, and that they're performing just for me. Like that window on the TV screen, like can't contain the madness. Can't contain it. And like you right there. That's how kids feel too. That's how we felt as kids. We felt as though when we was watching them things on TV, even if it was hip hop videos. That's why I was getting enticed by it. Like you feel like you right there with the cars and the pool and the yacht. And that's what girls be getting caught up too. Or not even girls, just period. Whenever you're feeling lonely or something like that, that's when we really allow ourselves to feel so vulnerable that we like, oh, they are talking to me. I'm lonely right now. Like those Bruno Mars type songs. People start getting up and dancing. It is a huge synchronicity going on. A huge synchronicity. And that's why I just always just rely on I don't know. It is any truth I rely on is just getting me caught up in another reality. But I experience the truth that everything is always connected, playing out at the same time. And we can always put thoughts in a way to make it seem like it's not all correlated, but it really is. It really is. It's a set I love to play. Gas Lamp Killer. The Gas Lamp Killer, his Boiler Room set. Whenever I play it, I say I get raptured up. I start like my thoughts just all get into it. It seems like I'm right there. Like I'm right there on the stage with him. And he got the whole drum set going on. I'll show y'all a little tidbit. Cause I think that somebody uploaded it and they didn't have any copyright. But y'all know how, y'all see how it is. Y'all watch in your own neck of the woods. Y'all see with y'all music videos getting into it. You said, let me, Bunny Bar, Bottle, you said, let me tell you what's the mushies told me. When our bodies die, it's just us leaving the stage and we go sit in the audience. that And then watch somebody else play who was really still us. And it just keeps going. Man, that's mushies told. That's cool. They told me a very similar story. Very similar story. And Nicholas, you said, Ty, what's your favorite trip? What drug and dose? Alright, I gotta get out of... I love all my trips. But, my favorite trip has to be the one that I did on mushrooms, 4 grams, psilocybin cyanessence, and the silent darkness, where I, was seeing what Blue Bottle Bunny Farm was saying, where I saw the stage. I saw everything. I saw everything that I wanted to ever see in the body in person that I was when that experience happened. It was like everything that happened all the way up from me searching and going out looking for truth, or even growing up. Every single thing, all the songs that I ever listened to growing up, everything everybody said to me, all came up during that trip. Like my whole encompass 27 years just all came up in that trip. Like it wasn't no skips. And then I made a video about it that you should check out, Nicholas. It's one of my favorite ones. I actually took like a week to make it. It's one of the longest videos I took the time to work out on. That's why I put it out into parts. I was like, yo, I really wish for people to see it. Because I don't think people really gonna see the whole thing. But yeah, it was cool. And I wish to have way more interesting ones in the future too. But that was the one that took it. And I saw the stage cameras, like you said, where I was jumping realities after seeing all this cool art, like surreal art, like twisted things going around and colors blending and cool forms and fashions. But then I saw the stage cameras after I was jumping realities, because I kept saying I created all of this. I saw the gestures for a second or something, and I said, yeah, I ain't getting me. I created this. And that's all I kept saying, repeating over and over like a mantra. And that was just what I remember saying over and over while everything was happening in the field. And I saw the cameras and stage audience and stuff like that. And it was all me. And then I saw me being the floating in hyperspace, being the one man band. And when I looked at myself, it was the clown horn saying, and it was like, oh, you see me, this the time to do this. And I saw myself being the stage, the sound crew for reality. Like, oh, when somebody takes a step, do this. And I was real focused. Like the face that I had reminded me of like what people say, because I don't remember any of the entity faces that I seen. I seen a lot of them, but I don't remember them. I just remember me. I just remember my face everywhere. Where some people be eagle too. I remember the first face I saw because I drew it, so I guess it got implanted, or it just, that's how I seen it. But other than that, I don't remember anything else. I just remember my face and stuff. Like, even in the audience after a while. Like, if I have to think about the audience, it's like some Twilight Zone stuff. It really is like Twilight Zone, where you flash quick to the audience, you think it's going to be all these faces, and then it's all you, and they all just acting casually like, what are you, like, why? Don't be tripping. Like, they're not even don't be tripping. It's just, they just doing what the audience does. Oh, nope, I couldn't, I didn't have my headphones on.
Hello.
Hey, I'm here.
No, I don't. I got these new headphones, so it'd be fucking up. I just wanted to make sure you could hear me.
Hey, no, we here now. I can hear you.
What's up, Ty?
How's it going? I'm chilling. Reminiscing
My
on this
man, my
mushroom
man.
story that I'm gonna tell my kids when I'm old.
So, so after you came back from your personal Truman story, how did that fuck with you coming back to this reality?
Like, say that again?
As far as seeing, once you came back from your own Truman show, right?
Uh huh.
How did that affect you coming back to this reality when you're looking at people, when you're looking at you, and you know goddamn well you did this? How does how does that reality transition into this reality when it's
uh,
kind of the same? You feel me?
The first thing I gotta say, you see where I'm sitting like this? Start sitting like this more.
Yeah.
Start sitting with my chest
Okay.
out, bro. Like, yo,
That's right. That's right.
what am I so hunched out, so beat up about? Like, breathe. Make sure you can
Yeah,
breathe.
man.
Build yourself up so you can breathe. You already breathe, and you already know how to sit up. What are you
Mhm.
playing yourself for? Well, you was playing yourself. That was the game. Funny, right? Ha ha
Yeah. Okay.
ha ha
I'm sitting here listening like, man, I could only imagine. I already think half of the people I see are actors and shit like that and ideas anyway.
ha. Uh-huh.
But just to hear I just wanted to hear that transition. Like, how do you go from one show to another and
And
think
it,
one is normaler than the other?
and this, I was already getting hints of it. I was already getting hints, and it was coming out through me trying to like talk and say stuff, but it was confirmed. So, man, at
Right, right.
first it was kind of scary because for my own story for the record books, it was scary encountering my girlfriend. I was like, whoa, whoa. Like, what are you
Uh,
saying to me? Because it was like everything she was saying was trying to override what I experienced. So it was like trying to
right,
remind me of who I was before the trip, or of something that was going on before this experience. And it was like meddling. It was grounding me. It was bringing me back into a space. And I was like, whoa, wait! I can literally see that space being created right now. I don't know if I want to go into
right.
it like this. So
Almost like she was stuck in the past.
yeah, that's why I think it's important. Well, will be real cool. Like if couples can go in on these journeys together, like after a while, like after one person start getting their feet wet for a while, and the other person can like start seeing, trusting them more. Cause you can't force nothing on anybody. So it's just come
Right,
with
right.
time. Trust me, I tried.
That's what I'm looking to do. You know, I'm getting my little situation together so I could take my own little trip. But my lady said she was interested in it, so I told her
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to go first. You know, I'm a big bully, so you need to see me get my ass whooped to see if you really want this. You know?
Uh huh. That's what I had to describe to her. I had to describe to her that it felt like I really died. Like I really died. Because she ain't really know what I really meant. Because I be calm about a lot of things. And I'm always talking about, that's what it is in our story. I'm always talking about when I died and I always did all of this. So I was like, no, I really, really died. But real quick,
Babe,
Astro
I'm
said,
dead. I'm trying to tell you.
you said, Astro, you said you taking DNT, never met the Jester indices. Did you see him on your 4 gram trip? Oh, only for a quick second, and they wasn't really messing with me. I just saw like a Jack in the Box kind of thing, and it was like a folded paper origami thing, and it was kind of like just waving. It wasn't a scary thing or nothing. I was flying kind of past it, and it was waving as I was leaving that place. So it ain't getting me. That was the most I ever seen of one. But that's cool that you never seen one on DMT before, because I still never taken it yet, and that was one of my thoughts popping up. I was like, oh, the jesters. People usually see that when they first take DMT, and I was like, wait a second. I already took shrooms before, and what am I worried about? I ain't gonna see no jesters. Let me get that out of my head right now. So now you helping me out saying you've never seen it on DMT.
I don't even know where to come across that. I don't even give a fuck. I got the
Mm-hmm.
shrooms on that. So it's like one step at a time. You feel me? I'm gonna get to the DMT when it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, with the shrooms, you'll be
I
able
am
to see them for a while and work past them.
right, because the growth kit is coming. I already got everything else you might need. So now it's just a waiting game for real.
Oh, the clock
Right,
already
right.
ticking.
That's it. That's it. I think we all are cool to each other for a reason. You feel me? So my reason was coming to the Truth channel was because I was already on that wavelength. But then it led me to your channel, which is a different aspect of myself that I'm starting to learn. You're like a different part of me that I never fuck with it. Not to sound mean or nothing, but it's like I'm such an aggressive person. Like I've
Uh
always been called
huh.
aggressive, violent. You know, I'm a violent offender. That's who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm an aggressive person. Is my point? I'm aggressive, and you're not aggressive like I'm aggressive. You may be aggressive. I'm not saying not, but not like me.
Uh
So
huh.
I got led. I got led to your channel as a reflection of me that I need to tap into. So I highly appreciate the channel. See,
Hey, no doubt, bro. I said the same thing two
straight
days
up.
ago about your channel. I was talking to Rate the Matrix or
uh,
somebody. I said True, Ozo, and King Oz too. I said King Oz especially, like they say another side of me that I don't really like play with that
yeah,
often.
exactly. Yeah, that's
And I
it.
said it's
That's
me,
it.
but it's just not my character right now. But it is me. I said I still go hard. I said I'm still doing
Yeah,
it.
straight up.
Uh
That,
huh.
that shit dope, man. It's like shit. You might not know shit when you get to these channels, or you might not know certain shit, but guaranteed you gonna learn a lot of shit fucking with us, a
For real.
lot, and it's like it's natural for us because we so embedded into this. This ain't like a front. This ain't trying to sound good. This ain't trying to please people. This is how we are. So you come here, you're gonna get genuine, raw, uncut, our truth. You feel me? I hear Booker go, he talk about what he talk about, and then I hear you go, and it's like, okay, there we go. There's a balance.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to strangle a nigga today, but I heard just Ty and his laugh, and I'm straight.
Nah, leave that guy alone. Let him live another day. That's how I be looking at it.
you
I
know,
let him live another day.
you're so nice. You're such a nice guy. I'm
I'm
the
really a
easy guy. I'm the
psychopath.
motherfucker fucking with
So-
you. There we go.
I'm just
We laugh, but we serious.
King, I've
This
seen you.
is dope, man.
You don't seem like a bad guy to me. I,
I'm not a bad guy. I promise. I promise.
you
Not
just,
all the time.
I think it was you the other day. I saw you were standing in front of the park. Was that you?
A park.
Yeah, you had. Maybe that. I think that was you.
Uh,
I'm gonna go
I
look
don't
at.
know. No. Yeah, posted in just Ty's Discord.
Yeah, let me find my
But
YouTube app.
but thanks for joining the chat.
Oh
yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say that.
Yeah,
thank you.
we just Ty's usually just you and me or just you, huh?
I listen a
We got
lot. I don't say a whole lot because most of the time it's all the guys are just like talking over each other. So I just wait till I have a good opportunity to jump in and make sure I have something relevant to say. And
Nah.
sometimes it's hard to get a word in on True's channel because everybody will be talking at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's growing.
yeah, that's how it goes
It's
sometimes,
growing. But
But
nah. What's going
if the
on
ladies
now?
like you say, when the ladies don't be quiet,
What's going on with your day today?
Who, me?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I got up and started checking my monotubs, and
Hmm.
I found that contamination, and it looks like I got to start all over. And even my jars, I've just broken every rule. When I was talking about the personality test, it
Hmm.
kind of made me understand why I've gone so wrong with these with this grow. Is because the way I learn, I have to make a bunch of mistakes before I have actually learned anything. Somebody can tell me that's the wrong way to do it, and I will still do it the wrong way anyway, just to see the
Just to
result, and
see.
then I know that I know that I know.
I know what you
So
mean.
I have to start all
Uh
over.
huh.
I've got.
Like you kept trying to improvise at different parts.
Oops, wait, I lost you.
I was saying you try to improvise at different parts.
Yes, yes, I am. I play jazz. I
Mm-hmm.
play jazz with my grows, and I grew funky stuff. But I think I'm just going to harvest what I have, and then I've got to buy new spores. I hate that too.
I hate the wait time.
Oh, me too. I
That
hate the wait time, waiting for those jars to colonize. Takes
yeah.
forever.
Ooh. But the result is worth it. The result is worth it, but the wait time is something else. But it's nothing compared to growing weed.
I've never been successful at that either.
The most I grew off one plant was like an ounce and a half dry. That was the most. It was a little closet grow back in Philly.
Yeah, that's what I would have to do. Is a little secret grow. But I'm just hanging out in my room with my little children here, and I found that if you talk to them, they do so much better than if you ignore them. The rice experiment. If you do it with your plants or your fungus, I just tell them how beautiful they are and how much I love them. And if I neglect to do that, they don't grow as good. I really think they know me. I mean, when you do the mushroom does you. And I think they're looking forward to becoming us as much as we look forward to becoming them, because when we take them, they become part of us, part of our bodies, part of their sugars and polysaccharides. They become our cells. Everything we eat becomes us. So I think the mushrooms look forward to becoming us. It's how they experience the world.
Yo, that's nice. Yeah, it is it is a new way to experience the world. I was
Yeah,
watching South Park yesterday, and they was talking about your microbiomes, and one Stan he became awakened because he realized that he didn't have germs on him or there wasn't stuff living on him, but that he was the germs and everything that was living on him, and the whole experience was one experience of however it is. How you putting it?
yeah. Well, when we do them, they do us. I've heard Kalindi say that before, and I think it's so important to talk to them as they're growing because you're giving them your energy and your vibration of your voice. The Your voice is actual air vibrating in your body, and so they get your vibration. They get your vibration of love. The other day I was talking to them and I was baby talking to them. Like, oh, you're so beautiful. I love you so much. And my cat hears me doing this because I talk to my cat that way. Cat comes up and wants to know, who the heck are you
Oh,
talking to?
jealous.
Just him out, and it's like, like I don't get it.
But no, that's how man. Yeah, you said the words and when the mushrooms growing, they like 90% water, so we helping they structure. Like with that crystal experiment, talking to the water, they 90%
Exactly.
water.
Hey, do anybody ever like go ahead and eat their aborts?
You say eat the aborts?
Yeah, cook
Yes.
them like out. Okay, because I've washed mine off. I'm gonna try to salvage them.
No, yeah, yeah, they're good. Some people say they pack a little more punch than the bigger ones. It's probably all
Oh,
subjective, but yeah.
I read that this morning, so that made me harvest some. Because I got one tub of B plus that's stalled out,
Mhm.
so I'm just gonna harvest what's in there and put it out in the garden outdoors. See what happens to spring. I live in a really mild climate, so maybe something will happen next month in February or March.
Yeah, it's just about to finally rain around here. So I'm gonna go mushroom hunting in the woods pretty soon. Well, around, not really in the woods, they don't grow there, but some areas around here.
You know, since I have started growing mushrooms, I see different varieties of mushrooms much more frequently than I ever did. I take a woods and I see all kinds now. It's like they call me.
I
They call attention. I had some amanitas growing out here. I
ooh.
haven't ever. I'm kind of scared too, because I just heard. I don't know if that's going to be my cup of tea, but we have them,
Mhm.
and
That's how you
so
make
many
it in a cup of tea, right?
Yeah, I've heard people say they didn't feel real good on them,
Mhm.
so kind of like slow to do it. Plus, the amanitas we have growing here are not really real red and white. They're kind of a yellowish and with white dots, so they may be a slightly different variety. But I know there's some type of amanita, but then there's that poisonous one that I'm scared of, so I haven't done them.
Yeah, the lookalikes.
Yeah, I'm scared of those.
Uh huh. I think if you just do the since you can get it wild like fresh, you take the that spore print, see what's going on. I think they work like that too. I'm
Yeah,
looking it
I've
up
taken
now.
I still never did anything with it. And I'm trying to grow some lion's mane right now.
Oh, out of the log.
Actually, I have it on some aspen chip,
Mm-hmm.
but I have contamination in that too. So disappointed. I got to start all over.
Hey, at
Uh,
least you started. I've been saying I wanted to grow the gourmet mushrooms for a while, especially lion's mane. Just the way they grow, they look cool. They look like icicles.
yeah, they look so cool. And they're supposed to be like good to stack with your other psychoactive mushrooms.
Oh,
Like you
yup.
take together and it's supposed to enhance the experience. So I'm looking forward to that.
They said
I bought some dried lion's mane online. It should be getting here by Monday.
I have some dry lion's mane, but then according to this guy Paul Stamos, he's saying not to take it because it's from China.
Oh,
He said all the
oh, this,
mycologists he know wouldn't get this stuff, wouldn't get their stuff from China because of their practices over there, like their looseness with them. I'm like, oh man,
I bought these from a hippie Facebook. So
yeah, you
I know
good. But
he's
yeah,
from, I think,
they said it helped with the neuroplasticity of your brain, so that you can, so that the work that the mushroom is trying to give to you, like with the new ideas. This is just the way I put it. The new ideas and stuff. It now has a track way, a easier track way to work with. It don't have to push around so much. That's why the lion's mane by itself allows you to just have general mental clarity and think clear.
that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
We're husband and I are a little bit older. He's 65. I'm in my 50s. And, we just really want to protect our brains from Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yes,
You know,
dementia.
and lion's mane promotes neurogenesis, which is the production of new brain cells, which contributes to the neuroplasticity, where you have a new pathway for the synapses to fire in your brain. So I'm just real excited about stacking those two varieties of mushrooms.
Man. And I think no side effects. Like no physical side effects.
Exactly.
Cause that's what all the other drugs was promising. Man, they ain't
Have you?
get nobody nowhere. Well, they got them on Adderall. That's about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That Vyvanse, or which is the new Adderall or whatever. I took some of that, and when you take it for several days and then you stop taking it, you feel like crap.
Mm. Somebody
You
offered
know.
it to me back in college, but I never wanted to use it. He said, "I think you're the kind of person that needs this kind of thing because of how your focus is." And I never took it. I just was smoking, which didn't help either too, because it just made me not want to do anything related to school, just music and art and stuff.
That's what I'm mostly interested in: music and art.
Yeah,
And almost all of my time doing those two things. Whenever I can.
it's like it's part of the greatest connection to what you can experience on the psychedelic, like creating some form of art or originality, something that's just original.
I think that's what a lot of us are here for. Like, when you're trying to find your life purpose, it may not be to save the world. It may just be you came here to express. And I think that's the idea. I came here to express and create into the 3D so I could make stuff. It's entertainment. I think that's what our whole life is about, truly. If you're an immortal being, things like poverty and death and suffering are just as well balanced with love and curiosity. These are just things that an immortal soul comes here to experience. It's like watching a sad movie or a violent movie. A lot of times I think we just, for the sheer entertainment, because we're immortal, we can never die. Our bodies do, but our souls, who we really are, I believe is permanent. And we come here to be entertained because have you ever been on a trip and it be really like intense visually, but after a while it just gets boring and you're like, is this all it is? I
Mm-hmm.
get bored and we're like, I'm going back. I gotta do something, and
Yeah, I know exactly. I said exactly the same thing you said. I was saying like the horror movie. I was like, just like watching a horror movie. It's the same thing. Like, why do we want to watch horror movies? Like, why do people make them? I used to ask those questions when I was younger, but now I'm like, it's a movie. It's an experience. Sometimes you jump up, or sometimes you say, "Man, you ain't get me with that." Or sometimes you say, "Oh, I like how they did the makeup on it," or it really came off as scary or something. Just whatever comes up. That's what the experience is.
yeah. And you gotta have a little, the sweet wouldn't be so sweet if it weren't for a little sour.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't know how good you had it if it was good all the time. You would have nothing to compare it to. So sometimes the bad things come into our lives just to maybe give a reference point.
Yeah, I don't even see it as bad. I just see it as another event. Cause what was good
I
one
think,
day is bad another day.
yeah, you
Sometimes,
can't always
sometimes.
judge on your experiences. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
worst ever happened to me in my life were roads to some of the most beautiful, wonderful things to me. Like, say if I hadn't lost that job, I wouldn't have this job. You know?
Yep. It's how caught up we be getting in those moments in that one instance, and be like, oh, this was my whole life. That's why I like psychedelics. They get you, like, and get you on that vibe where you like you used to getting out of your whole life, or you just understand what your life is. It is just a brush in the wind, a whistling in the wind. I mean,
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, after I'm gone, who's going to remember me? You know, it's like, will it even make any difference? There'll be nobody left to remember me. And then I'm like, then I have to remind myself that is common. Most people are not remembered a generation or two after they're gone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it is like a little puff in the wind, our lives.
That is the way it is. Like when we, I was just thinking about the American Revolution and all the stuff that they was teaching us and how they tried to get us to learn about the people. It was still millions of people. We just learned about like 50.
Exactly.
Yep, and all of those 50 people stories created all of this stuff that we got to learn, and they want us to recreate to keep up that story, that one thing. When everybody else was telling all they in little individual stories. But that's the cool thing about YouTube too. Like that anybody, it's still millions of people out there, but it's getting more, it's getting a little broader. It's still just a brush in the wind. But I was thinking like more kinds of people can talk up so that the culture can be a little more varied. And we see that happening now, like where we're existing now, the culture being more varied. Because it's people like us just turning on the cameras or putting on the mic, playing some music, and putting it out there. When
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
before we
times have
couldn't do that.
definitely changed nowadays. They didn't have the technology we got. They couldn't put their story out like they wanted to.
Not at all.
You know,
Not even imagine it.
right? For real, you
You
couldn't
know,
dream. You had to stay within a structure of mind, structure of lifestyle. Ooh, ooh.
it's so interesting that we all come from different backgrounds, and yet we have this one interest that's the same, but we're so different, you know?
I think if people started to socialize more that they see, they have a lot in common with each other, more so than what the program been telling them to stay away from each other though. When you figure out
Exactly.
y'all get together, y'all gonna find out y'all both like pancakes. Oh shit. I like tigers too. Like you'll start to figure out like we ain't that different. We just look different and might come from different backgrounds.
You know where
That's
people
it.
get caught up, Oz? I saw,
What's
because I
up?
see where I was getting caught up. People get caught up in applying those techniques to
Mm-hmm.
characters on TV
Yeah,
and
ideas.
in
Yeah.
mythologies. And that's it.
Uh-huh.
And I, because I was like, yeah, I
For
see
real.
how to do get friendship. I see how it is in the animes. Like that is how I feel. You gotta like be all for one for all and stuff. But then in my regular life, I was just like, I don't want to talk to nobody. And that was the
For
character
real.
I was playing. So that was my story.
You're like Vegeta and shit. Like, man, I don't fuck with none of y'all.
Yeah, I want to be Goku now. I want to keep leveling up and
Right,
smile and eat
right.
food. Goku ate whatever he wanted all the time.
Anytime he was always happy. Like, yeah, absolutely. You couldn't shake him. Nigga got bad news. He looked at the good news.
He really did. He's like, come on,
Yeah,
Chi Chi.
it's
Chi Chi
okay.
was
It's
always worried
okay.
about money. Go
Uh-huh.
do
Yep.
something real quick, make some money, do a tournament real quick.
I got you, babe. I got you, G. I'm gonna go get my ass whooped for you, okay? I love you.
For not for just for you, but for the whole world.
But no, for real, if people
Hmm.
were to tap in with each other, they'd figure out, all right, we got a lot in common. Ain't no reason for us to be so distant, you know? They didn't have the technology to know about what we know about. Back then, dinosaurs were a thing. Nowadays, there's so many proofs to show that dinosaurs didn't exist in general. Now we have a whole different concept of conversation, an aspect of knowledge. Back then, it was they existed. That's all we know. That's what we're taught. We don't have anything to show us any different. Now we have opportunities to start knowing more, getting familiar with each other more. You know,
Hmm.
there's no restraint of you can't fuck with him because he's black, and you can't look at her because she's white, or blah 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 blah. It's like no, we in a whole nother world now. Anybody can fuck with anybody if you want to.
Paying attention to ideas more than what's going on.
Uh-huh.
At least on
That's
the
what I was
level
saying in
scale
another
that we
stream.
talking
Yeah.
on and working on.
No, but that's what I said in a couple streams. I
Hmm.
said most people are ideas. They get their lifestyles from memes and TV shows. Like you said, these people are ideas. They're not themselves. They are what they see and what their ego attaches to on the TV or in the music,
Yeah,
you know?
because I think we
So
need to be consumers and producers.
you gotta be both.
Hmm.
You gotta be both. Because even producers consume the product so they could sell them shits. You know, fucking Walmart buys from out of state places so they can sell. They consume to sell. That's what it is. Well, how would you do that? How would everybody be able to do something like that? Most people don't apply themselves. They just drift through life.
Hey Oz.
What's up, G?
Hey, what was you mentioning about the dinosaurs?
I was just saying, you know, like I've talked to my mom about, well, you can talk to anybody older than 45, 50 or something. And they'll
Hmm.
tell you back in the day, they were told that dinosaurs existed. They weren't proven. They were told and trained and forced to understand and believe that dinosaurs existed. Nowadays, you can just, like you said, you have Google, you have YouTube, you have a library where you can go study the dates, the times, the experiment. I forgot the word, so I use experiment, but the experiment used to prove if dinosaurs existed or not. And you'll see a lot of data that shows they didn't exist, but you'll see a lot of data that says they do exist. My point being, our parents didn't have the luxury of really looking into the background to see if it's true or not.
I see what you mean. Cause that's you see
Right.
how the scientists they even change up what they say the dinosaurs look like. First they had scales, and now they're
Yeah.
saying they had feathers.
Feathers.
And now I'm
Yeah.
thinking they was probably. I think if it was dinosaurs too, I think that
I
they
mean,
was not. They didn't behave nothing like how they said they behaved.
What?
Like how they
they
said they was all
proved.
vicious and stuff like
What?
that. They probably like had a different kind of vibe about them.
Right, right.
That
So, it's just a different mindset comes with that.
and they probably wasn't so animalistic. I think they was kind of they probably was a lot smarter than how we put them.
All right, give me 2 seconds.
Uh huh. I'm gonna ask them, Astro. Yeah, we're not saying that the fossils are fake. Well, I'm not saying that the fossils are not fake, but just how we interpret them. How we interpret them. I was watching somebody's video talking about how dinosaurs have been interpreted through time, through media, through media, like through the old. I used to watch the what was the on Discovery Channel, and they used to
All right, my
recreate them
bad.
in 3D animation. I used to watch all of those. They was cool. But then it was certain different artists' interpretations. I need to see what it was. There's different artists' interpretations of how the dinosaurs was based off the shapes of the bones and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not Astro. I'm not necessarily saying that dinosaurs are fake. I'm saying that if you go look, you'll see that there's things that do say they're fake, and that our parents didn't have the luxury of even trying to study to see for themselves. That was my point. You know, we know that people lived well before dinosaurs supposedly existed. So that means people were walking with dinosaurs, walking with what's them hairy ass elephants. We was walking with
The
those.
woolly mammoth.
Yeah. And see, our parents and shit didn't have the luxury, once again, to study for themselves. They were more force fed. And depending on what your skin tone was, you wasn't getting a proper education in the first place. So that leads a person to be a little ignorant if they don't have the luxury of studying for self. So they grow up and they have kids. They're ignorant of certain things themselves, so they're going to pass down slight ignorances to that kid. That kid's going to grow up with slight ignorances. You feel me? And it continues. But now in the day, if my parent is ignorant, I have the luxury of, you know, internet to at least study. They didn't have that luxury. That's my only point. That's strictly my only point. It's a new age. They know, you know, we have opportunities to connect with each other. We have opportunities to connect the dots of things. So we should take full advantage.
Yeah,
You feel me?
somebody drew Noah's Ark and they drew a dinosaur in the background. Like, what about the dinosaur?
Straight up. And there's just simple things like if you look at the structure of a T-Rex and how it's built, his functionality, his handicaps, all of it. And then you try to figure out how a T-Rex mates with another T-Rex, physically it seems like it's very impossible. You feel what I'm saying? Just look at the structure of a T-Rex
There's no grabbing.
and think about right. There's no grabbing. You can't get the tail out the way. You ain't about to lay on your back because it's hard to get up. It's just I'm just saying, you know, there's
I saw that on the meme.
but our parents didn't have that luxury though. They didn't even have that luxury to think like that because they were taught ignorantly
Yeah,
or
and you could,
limitedly. I'll say limitedly because they were limited on what they could expose to.
and people really couldn't even ask that question because it would have been
Exactly.
terribly appropriate to say, "How do T Rexes mate?" They would
Exactly.
have, whoever they asked that question of would just, blow up at them because it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
that's not even an appropriate question to ask in mixed company. So they
Yeah.
would be for even, asking the question. So, and
So
also
that's a
with,
beautiful point.
yeah, nobody would have asked that before. That would have been inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would have thought, well, you're trying to be funny, but I've
Yeah.
never thought before. But I'm picturing a T Rex and trying to picture that in my mind, unless
It's
they
impossible, goddamn.
backed up, lifted their tails, and rubbed like chickens or something.
But even
I don't
then, right? Even then, it
know.
would still be hard. So it's
There's no
like, you know, we're just in a new
they
age of thought.
like frogs and got in the water.
Just float on your back and see what happens, huh?
But that's
What's up,
interesting.
family?
I never
What's
thought.
up?
Hey, who's that?
It's Black.
What's going on, Black Skin?
Blaxican, what's happening, man?
I'm you guys motivate me thinking because like I thought about luck. I didn't. I question Darwin.
Are you
Is
breaking up,
T
bro?
cutting in and out? Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Not really.
I was saying like,
Hold on.
how about this? Is this better?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Now you disappeared.
Better?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
try to speak a sentence because you was just cutting in and out while you
Okay.
were speaking.
I was saying. Shit.
Damn.
Let me fix. Let me get off.
Okay.
Try disconnecting and reconnecting, and that helps sometimes.
Yo, that's straight. Oh, Jesus. It made me cough right now. I thought I
Yo,
was smoking it earlier. The one I was smoking earlier didn't have it. Cause once I smoked that one, I kept putting it down every couple of puffs, saying, "All right, I'm good." I was like, "Oh, what's going on? This really it."
hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
There you go.
I was gonna say like I never questioned Darwin's theory of evolution, but like it sounds shaky the more I look at it in a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ways. You know what I'm saying? And like I learned that his theories were like the kind of like the foundation for the eugenics movement and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So it's like a lot of these things we take as like gospel, you know,
Ain't
they ain't even right. You know what I'm saying?
they ain't
So yeah. So like,
straight up.
what do you y'all think about like where human beings came from, like how they evolved?
I was
See, that's a
curious. Have you?
question that you'll always get a bunch of answers because nobody has a solidified factual
Mm-hmm.
point of, you know what I'm saying?
Reference of reference.
I just know that we over a long period of time evolved in the sense of using our bodies the way we use them now. Because at one point we were able to live on the land, but before that we had to live higher up. I won't say in trees or nothing, but we had to live above the ground itself. So we had to maybe make tree houses with bridges to go across to the next tree or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for a fact, but we didn't have to use this physical the way we use it now until we were able to be land dwellers. You feel what I'm saying? Then our feet evolved to where it balanced out the rest of the body, or our head and our neck and our torsos evolved or changed with the environment, et cetera, shit like that. But I don't think we came from monkeys at all. Period.
Yeah.
Zero. At all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let nobody tell you that shit. That shit's retarded.
No, I think
Yeah.
it's nothing like any primate that we
But
see when we look around right now. It don't
we
really
look
nothing like
we
that.
look in the womb. We look at how we evolve in our mother's bellies, if you will, just to keep it simple for people. We're swimmers. We're amphibious, if you will,
Yeah. Like
and
we could even on frogs.
then we have feathers, which is our hair eventually, right? On our
Mm-hmm.
arms and our head and our eyes. And then eventually we get to be mammals, if you will. So that evolution comes in within. It's within. Our finished product is this. So that's the same concept of just humans in general. Okay, at first we weren't able to live on the land, so we lived up, and then we came down. And this is just, oh man, this we can go deep with that. But
Then we
my
Yeah,
st-
mind's
let's
drifting
deep,
other
bro.
places and shit.
then we
You
stood
know,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't crouched over. We
Yep.
weren't crouched over anymore. Then we found uses for our thumbs because now we're on a land where we have to grab. We have to we have to grab tree branches and climb, and we have to things like that. So we were able to just evolve based on our environments and our needs at that point. We didn't evolve out of monkeys or a fucking tadpole or no shit like that.
No,
But
Ash. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was just about to read Astro stuff too.
I was gonna say, Astro. We're not saying because this what the scientists say too. It's not we came from the monkeys. That's the same as here today. The idea that when we say monkeys, even the scientists, is just to relate to a species of something that reminds us of a primate
And once again, nobody
millions
said we don't believe in
yeah,
dinosaurs. We didn't
millions
say
of
that.
years
We said
ago.
our parents didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
luxury of studying up on if dinosaurs existed or not. We're just talking. You're taking it out of the context. Nobody said we didn't believe
Right.
dinosaurs. We just
And
said our parents didn't have that access like we do of today with technology to study up on dinosaurs more.
Shit,
and
man.
Nicholas,
Not even the
I
parents,
hope
like
the trip
me
soon.
personally, bro. Like I remember specifically in third grade. That's the
Uh
first
huh.
time I consciously remember being the teacher reading books about dinosaurs. And this is before the internet was like for everyone.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
the teacher never said like, oh well, this might be a theory. We don't know for sure, but these I don't think that word existed. No,
Mm.
this is like no, these things were lived here this many millions of years ago. So you're absolutely right,
Factually.
kid. Yeah,
Right. And I'm trying. We trying to get Astro on the right on the same wave.
yeah,
Like, bro, no, we ain't saying nothing.
hmm
You saying that shit.
yeah.
But absolutely, we live in a new day where you do have the ability to think. You do have the ability to question and have ways to go about looking into what you're questioning. So with that, you get to connect with different paths. Those different paths lead to different people. And this is how we all connected. We all tapped into something that brought us to this point together.
hmm
Now, if we go back a couple, our parents' years, so that's like 50, 60 years, they didn't have that. So when you look at the dynamic of the social or the community or the people, it reflects. that time. Our time is we have access to millions of places at once. I could be on Twitch, I could be on Google, I could be on Facebook, I could be on Instagram, I could be talking to somebody over here, all because of technology. So with that
At the
being
same
said,
time.
exactly. So now that's going to lead me into being more social, being more exposed to things. Now you look at our parents, they were not, they lived a very private life. Go to work, take care of your family, man plays his role, woman plays his role. That's it. Boop, 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 boop. Right? Now you look at today. Everybody is doing something. Everybody is doing something. People are socializing. People are getting names off of socializing. People are getting fame off of socializing. That didn't take place back then. It's a new day. That's all we speaking on.
I was just reading
You would
this.
have told, you tell your grandpa uh, when he was going to school that dinosaurs possibly couldn't exist and that you could show him some shit that would make him at least think about it. They're going to look at you wild because they didn't have that even train of thought. They're like, no, 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 Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops. Yes. like, no, wait a minute. Did you know that they're going to, in maybe 50, 60 years from now, Grandpa, they're going to say that they were birds too? What? No, scales, big tails, horns. Like, that's all you knew.
Yep, I was just reading
Really?
this new thing, where they discovered this batwing dinosaur now, where they saying they said I just now read this exact paragraph. Hold on. So yeah, it said this interpretation was generally accepted as the most accurate artists can come up with at the time. It was so striking that it made it into the National Geographic's Bizarre Dinosaurs. Wait, I got the thing right here. Hold on. I can do this.
You putting it on your YouTube screen?
Yeah.
All right, let me check.
This is a new dinosaur that they new interpretation.
Mm-mm. But there's a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, Astro Way, you might feel some type of way about the dinosaur. Keep that with you, put it in your pocket, and hold it. Cool, fine. Check this out though. At one point, the same point we're speaking on, our parents were force fed to believe that it is factually that religion is absolutely 100% real. And we know that to be false. We know that to be 100% false.
Give me a letter.
But they didn't have access to understanding that. Now they do. Why? Because of technology. Because of a different time. We're in a whole different time where you can study is the point, where you could do for self. You didn't have to just be force fed what the teachers told you. That's the conversation we're having.
Yeah.
That's the conversation we're having. So you keep the dinosaurs in your pocket. Keep up with the convo. You feel me? We're saying we're in a new day. Let's take advantage because our parents didn't have the opportunity to take advantage, didn't have the outlets to take advantage. That's it. It's a very simple concept we're speaking of.
It's just hard for some people to follow King Og sometimes because like they're used to thinking about things like specific
Yeah, you're
situations
right.
where we're breaking down a system,
Right, you're
you
right.
know.
You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, G.
But
Yeah,
even
man.
even with that said, you're still making it pretty easy. So
I thought
I
I
hope
was.
everyone could catch up.
I
Yeah.
thought I was.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be funny because it's all love, Astro. You just stuck on
Right.
a point that we ain't. That's all. It's all love.
I want to go back in time and ride a dinosaur
I don't know if it's charged.
alongside the other humans that was there,
Okay.
or anybody when I'm by myself.
Put a saddle on it,
Yeah,
bareback.
I'm gonna go back and ride it. I'm gonna tame it. Not tame it. I'm gonna be his friend. I'm gonna be his
I was
friend.
just about to say,
I
just
just
be
say
his
don't
friend.
just don't eat me.
Right.
Or I'll have some. I have if I had that kind of technology, I had the right kind of technology to escape too, so I wouldn't be eating in the first place. Oh, but I
Or
You
never
think
just
turned
to
the
most
make
screen
of
back
it be
on.
them were
your friend.
vegetarian though?
What'd you say?
You think most of them were vegetarian though?
I don't know. In order
Oh,
to maintain that size, they try to say
But like the big
the
ones, the big
Brontosaurus, the one with the long neck. They try to say that was a
right.
vegetarian, that he was a
Hmm.
vegetarian, but never. You never know, because they went by the size. They went by the molars in their teeth incisors, like how their
Right,
teeth and
right.
their size of their stomachs and stuff like that. But I don't know. Probably they had some tender meat back then.
I mean, they had to, didn't
They
they?
cooked
You
it.
know?
It's like I'm playing.
Oh, straight up. Who's to say they didn't? God damn it!
Right.
How you know these ain't the reptilians we talking about? Shit, I can make anything up. I'm just saying. And this is how it was. But no, they. If you watch Jurassic Park, they shit they they ate leaves. Them big long neck motherfuckers ate leaves, and they was the biggest dinosaur, wasn't
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I used to want
they?
to
They
be
ate leaves.
study dinosaurs for a living. When I was growing up, I wanted that to be my profession. I said, I'm gonna study
My
dinosaurs.
cousin did too, man. That was his thing. Still is to a degree, and he like 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, yeah, you could always do that, man.
Yeah.
Let me know what you find, please.
You had to get into archaeology and all that stuff. But what you saying, Black Cigar?
Nah, I wasn't gonna say I was gonna say that that's why this learning thing is taking a whole new level with me because now that I have a son,
Absolutely.
it's like everything I learn, bro, it's like that's for him too. So it becomes even more, special and intense, almost urgent because I want to learn so much to help him out. I understand he has to go through
Man,
his own trials and
I understand.
tribulations, but yeah, see, King, you got
Absolutely.
your
3 girls,
daughters,
2 boys. Yeah.
yeah, your boys, yeah. So everything we teach them, bro. It's
And
like,
I was there and I learned once you start studying up, you
mm,
will get overwhelmed by how much fuckery is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll want to
yeah,
study more and more. And I found myself to get overwhelmed. And then I learned one day it just dawned on me like, slow the fuck down. You got time. You know how to do your studies. Chill out. And that's what I did. So if you find yourself overwhelmed, because I know what you're feeling like, yeah, it's too much bullshit out here, and it's my job to stay on my pivot. So they're on their pivot. I get it. Just don't get overwhelmed. Just relax. Just relax. For real.
nah, King
Charcoal.
Oz is our fucking not Dr. Phil. That's
Mm-hmm.
not King Oz, bro. You got a talent, bro, for like
Oh,
just
much love,
making
man.
people feel at ease and fucking knowing what to do, bro. This is, I mean, all
Appreciate it,
y'all,
G.
everyone has to appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
This
everybody
is
brings
No
something to the
doubt.
table.
It's just crazy. This True Life fam, Just
You
High,
know,
King Oz show, all this, man. It's
I
like
know.
overwhelming in a good way.
it's, it's like, where the
Everybody's
fuck was
opinions
this
is
at?
formulating
Damn.
something like
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
Astros,
Yeah,
Nicholas,
straight up.
even Charcoal. You see what he wrote? Said black
You say
people should
what?
vote for no Charcoal. He said,
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Wait,
"Hey,
did
to
he
anybody
even
can
say
do
the name?
whatever, vote for whoever they want,
That's it right there.
but teachers do."
Yo,
And being in a school, period, you're going to be under some kind of program. If you inside a building, it's up to the parent and you surround like the parent for parent man. Parent take
Mm.
responsibility.
mhm. It's like I have to make my own curriculum for my son. Like he goes to school, he's gonna go to school and stuff, but like I gotta have an own curriculum.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's what I
Yeah,
got here at my house. You know,
right.
I teach my girls. My boy, my youngest boy lives with me. My oldest don't, but he too little to he don't talk, so we just let him do whatever the hell he wants. But my
There you go.
girls, I put in knowledge in a way where it's not schooly, if that makes sense, not force fed. Like we'll have a random conversation, and I'll give them some gems, and then we'll go over them until I realize that they got them. You feel me?
Yep. And you know
Because
what it
I
feel
don't want
like when
to
they got
I
it.
don't want to I don't want them to have a school structure when they get home because they're going into that system when they leave the house, they go to school. So
Mm-hmm.
when they come home, I want to do it in a comfortable way that just fits a child. That's the best
Yeah.
way to do it. hit them on their level. So you can't talk about, well, even though I have economic at the adult level, you got to hit them with kid level. Like, okay, this is paper money. This means nothing. Here's
Mm-hmm.
quarters, nickels, dimes, blah, blah, blah. This is real money. Let me tell you why. And then I'll let it go. And then I'll come back to it. And they'll be like, oh, I remember that. Okay, good, good, good. And we'll just build like that. So for any parents that are on the same level of mindset as Blaxican and me and myself, that's a good way. Just ease into it, but
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
definitely make sure you give them those seeds, that food for thought. Definitely do that.
Yeah.
That's how it is over here too. My daughter is technically
Mm-hmm.
homeschooled, and the building she goes to 3 times a week, it can't be technically considered a school. So it's considered like a program thing, but she still interacts with others, so she can interact with other kids and other adults and stuff
Absolutely.
in that setting, and still like come home and have workbooks that we work on, and I come up with things, and I can like tell from based off of just knowing her family, because I am her family, like when she actually got something, or when I see her struggling with something, I can see how she's struggling with it, and I can see how it's related to the household or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, because now all the teachers don't know all of that stuff, so it's a little harder to
Yeah, they don't.
work one on one with the kid as much as they would really wish to. But most of the time, you can get that a lot. You can get that some in a lot of cases, but not all the time. Not all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's just, we should take advantage of the age we're in. We're in the age of knowledge, man. Take advantage. They say the kids are the future. The kids ain't the future. Stop saying that. The kids are not the future. We're the future. What we do is the future. The kids pick up after us. They're not our future until we give them one.
Yeah, and
You
that
dig
that's
what
a
I'm
scare.
saying?
That's to be lazy, like saying like, oh yeah, the kids are the future. So that means that you don't
Right. We
have to
just
do
gonna leave it to
anything.
them.
Yeah, right.
I'm a kid.
No.
That's messed up.
I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
That's how I
In the
look at that
aspect of the
statement.
time, absolutely.
You know, real adults that grew up, they ain't laughing right now. They ain't able to laugh right now.
Hmm.
So,
Okay, we got
No, real
7
adults need to
viewers,
humble
7 likes.
themselves,
I
bro.
like it. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, Black.
Cause look at me,
Sure.
bro. Like I'm probably one of the oldest people on the Discord, and like I'm learning from people who are a little younger than me, man, and
That's
I'm
what it's
humbling
supposed to
myself,
be.
bro. Yeah.
Absolutely. I learned a lot from kids, children. You know how much
Definitely.
you can learn from children? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Children will tell you how to tap back into yourself.
yep, I
But
was about to
Right.
say that.
if you looking at them as kids, you ain't gonna catch that.
Yeah.
Yep. They just the
You look at them
expression.
as just being, they are beings. They're
Mm-hmm.
beings.
Hmm.
They're not whatever name you gave them. They're not whatever sex they are. They're not none of that. They are, look at them. They are just being them.
I
They
got a
are
daughter.
they are the I am.
You know how
They
many
know how to
times she
express
changed
pure
her name?
happiness, pure sadness, pure madness, pure frustration. They express it in the most purest way. They express themselves in the most purest way.
Hmm.
They're the ones we're trying to be like. They have their
Right.
own language. If you put two kids in the same room, they will mumble to each other like they are having a conversation because they are. But they're expressing it through energy. They're expressing it through expression.
As long as they
That's what we
communicating.
need to be like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Then we fuck them up.
Nah, I got mine's early.
I don't bring this up out of disrespect, but definitely respect. But like one of the things that Chris Kantama would talk about a lot is that how he thinks that DMT is the natural state for children, and as you get older, when you get into puberty, your sex hormones take over, and then you don't produce any more DMT because he was saying that like if you're in the DMT stage, like as an adult, you're not really tripping off sex. So if everyone was if the kid, you know what I mean, if we were always in the
Hmm.
DMT stage, we wouldn't want to procreate, and the human family wouldn't proceed. So, but he also was saying as you get older, you start to produce DMT again because you're getting ready to go to the other side again. So I thought that made me like look at my son like, holy shit, that makes kind of sense. Like, cause he seems like he's in another world, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I thought that
You know,
he
was
I'm
does.
pretty
glad you
cool.
brought this up. I'll have something to contribute here. Um,
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
was thinking just that the other day, and I was remembering back when I was a child, I was terrified of the dark. I saw things, or I imagined things, or whatever reason lasted. What lasted that now? Like I can walk around in my dark house and it doesn't bother me. Just being in a dark bedroom is terrifying, and I was that is
You going in and out a bit. Is that me?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I fading or anything?
All right, it's getting better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can hear
okay.
you now.
Okay, I'll just hold it up a little closer to my face. But anyhow, I was thinking about that in relation to fear of the dark. Wondering if, yeah, maybe I'm seeing things in my that really scared me when I was in the dark. I was just trying to analyze that fear from that perspective.
It was breaking in and out. Could
Yeah,
somebody not share what she
That's
said for me?
that sounds very logical because he was saying that also in the thing that a lot of the fears and the monsters we see under the bed when we're young, like most likely those were real. I mean, the
Mm.
imaginary friends, those were real, you know. And
Yes,
just as you get
imaginary.
older, you forget it.
I got
Mm.
imaginary
My
friends now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I know what you mean because I have a 5 year
yeah,
old and she's scared to go to the bathroom sometimes because of the sound that it makes. And I was showing her that it was water going down the pipe, but she was still imagining it as something else for a long time.
Something swallowing her up or
Yeah,
some
and I had
shit.
to
maybe it
eventually
is.
now she can. And she still say she don't really like the
I
sound,
mean,
but
that's a
she
good.
is another
She's not
imagination.
wrong though,
Uh-huh.
Right?
because anything you throw down in there is getting swallowed.
It's probably
So,
nasty
I
down
mean,
there,
she
huh?
ain't wrong in that aspect. Like, hey, it's gonna swallow me. That's what it does. And you can't say no, it doesn't swallow shit up,
No,
because
I
you be
don't tell her
lying.
no. I don't tell her no. I say just wait for the
She was
sound to
kind of
get
right.
over.
Right.
Like,
And I
I ain't
know
That's
fucking
me.
with that. We got to go outside. Dad, can we go outside and do this?
And me, after a while, I used to go searching into the dark for ghosts. When I was a teenager, I used to go looking for ghosts and stuff. But when I was a kid, I think I used to see a lot of stuff, and the mushrooms were bringing back a lot of memories that I forgot. Because I spent a lot of time by myself, like with friends, but also a lot of time just watching TV or sitting by myself. Like they say, I didn't talk a lot, and they used to like what they knew I was okay because I was cool. Like I didn't look sad, but
Right.
I just didn't really communicate with people that much. So I was always trying to wonder what was going on. It was one memory that just popped up after watching Scooby Doo, the first Scooby Doo movie with my mom and her boyfriend. I went upstairs and it was the zombie Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. I went upstairs and it was lights like white, pink, and all these like orbs and stuff all around the ceiling. And then I told them what was going on, and they blamed it on the movie. Of course, they like, "Oh, we can't let you watch scary movies. We thought it was just Scooby Doo." I was like, "No, I really did see those on the ceiling. Like, what are y'all talking about?" And that's my little kid incense.
That sounds real, man. Definitely sounds that picture you paint. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Luke? Take 9. First
Hold on,
time
buddy.
coming through past the channel. Oh, well rounded here. Oh, I like read it and then got confused. New to the channel. I know who Well Rounded 13 is. Had to start a new channel. Alright, I'm gonna check out your new channel if you upload anything to it. But no, kids is cool. And what you was talking about it disappearing and stuff, I don't know. I don't know if it has so much to do with sex as much as probably giving into the ways of the accepted around you and not staying true to
Yeah, I
who
was
you
thinking about that,
was
bro.
from a kid to
Hmm.
adulthood. Because I've
Yeah,
remembered a time where I switched up. That's why I talk a lot. So I remember that. I remember that instance where I switched, and I said I feel like I lost a part of me, and I was assimilating, trying to like just be like with everybody else. And I was
yeah,
feeling good about it around the time too. But then having all
yeah.
those emotions that you see on TV, like of avoidance or being there but not being there, or all that little kid stuff I say now. But humans, cool stuff. It's just cool stuff. But
I feel like I lost that like a long time ago, like when I was really young, because I felt weird when my friends would say, I have an imaginary friend, but I never remember that. All I
mm,
remember is like, not that my life was the worst, but I remember my mom always being sick. I always remember her being like messed up situations with guys and stuff. Like I just remember like kind of fucked up shit. So maybe like I kind of like grew up a little faster or something, you know?
I remember all of that
Yeah,
stuff too with my mom.
yeah,
I was in the same boat. It just didn't catch up with
yeah.
me till I got to college. I held out till then.
I don't know if I had imaginary friends. I think I just was a lonely motherfucker.
Mm.
I
Did you
lived, well,
have
no, I
brother or
lived, I
sister?
lived, yeah, yeah, but see, we lived in Alaska, and my sister,
How you not have
she's a
imaginary
baby.
friend in
She
Alaska?
was check it out because I was always cool with the kids. So, and when I wasn't, I never minded being by myself. I play the
Mm-hmm.
game or just kick it. But
Hmm.
I had my sister. She was a baby, so I always had to take care of her because mom was working. I don't think I had time for an imaginary friend. Then we moved to
Yeah.
Ohio, and I moved to a very racist city, little town in Ohio. So I was dealing with that. I didn't have time for an imaginary friend. It was real
Mm.
life because I'm still taking care of my sister. My mom was a drunk and she worked. So I was always the figure of the house. I remember I was about 8, I want to say 8 or 9, maybe
Mm-hmm.
9. And we visited our grandparents and my mom got drunk and I had to drive a truck at 9 years old down a highway. The house was about 20 minutes from where we was at, and I drove the whole time because my mom was drunk. So I
Damn.
didn't
How you
have,
see?
I nigga, I had no clue, bro. I have no clue. I just remember holding that
Little
motherfucking wheel,
OG, bro. He's a BG, baby
pushing.
gang.
That's all I know. This is all I
Yeah.
know. My sister in the back, so my mind is on
Damn,
keeping them
man.
safe. I'm driving. I probably drove slow as shit, but but
Yeah, you
I
got it
didn't
done
have
though.
time for that. I was always the man of the house or the caretaker. So the
Hmm.
imaginary friends did never hit me. The scared of the dark never hit me because I was tired. You know, shit like that.
Uh huh.
But that makes a
That's
lot
real,
of sense
bro.
what y'all saying.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a
Yeah,
whole bunch of sense. That
yeah.
when you're a kid, these things are real because you're in your purest state. You don't have influences
Hmm.
to create a monster because you don't know monster. That concept
Right.
isn't even in your reality. So anything you see or experience, I believe that's 100% real. It has to be. Where did it come from? It didn't just come out of nowhere. Well, I mean, it came out of nowhere, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that I just wanted to tap in on that because, like, I'm just listening and I'm like, damn, I never had an imaginary friend. I
Never
want
thought
one.
about that, huh, King?
Right, I never thought about
Yeah,
that
me
shit.
too.
Hey, what's
And
going
damn, I
on,
didn't
Jessica?
have none of that shit. I just had diapers, beer cans, and racism. Like, fuck.
I had cartoons, movies, and seafood.
Oh man,
Hmm.
That's all I used to eat was seafood. They said, and watch
that's
movies.
dope. That's dope.
Like the movie
That's
Independence Day, they said I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I stayed up till 3 in the morning watching it 3 times in a
watching
row
that.
because I could beg for it.
Huh. But that's another
That's
thing. See, I'm just coming, y'all just bringing up shit. Like when I first moved here, well, to Alaska or here to Ohio, doesn't matter. I only spoke Korean. That's all I spoke because of my grandma. She's full Korean. So That's who we lived with. We went from Detroit to Alaska to Ohio. A fucked up series of events. I don't know how I went from shitty Detroit to shitty Ohio, but I'm here now. Anyway, I could only speak Korean and I could only understand Korean. So my concepts of what was going on around me at the same time of taking care of my sister and my mom was all centered around me. I had to figure out what was being said to me. I had to figure out how to take care of myself. So when your concepts are in a specific spot, you don't get to experience the realities of those different aspects of self. So
Yeah.
you guys are having different things exposed to you, giving you different concepts. So the imaginary friend might happen to a motherfucker that doesn't necessarily have to strictly think about responsibilities at a very young age, where that's a molding point for
That
you.
makes that
You
makes
know?
sense because I remember
That's
the guys that had them. They had a kind of like a pretty like normal, quote unquote normal house.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all about that experience, exposing, and you could take that to
Yeah.
an adult level. If I'm exposed to a system of just religion, my whole family's religious, my morals and principles are centered around what's been put in me at a very young age through environment, everything. You
uh-huh.
feel what I'm saying?
I know what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah,
And
bro.
that's what not just religion. That I know, but for the listeners out there,
Mm-hmm.
you could take that and apply it to any aspect of yourself. Any. How you view your woman, how you view your man, how you view sex, how you view the color purple, any of it
Yeah, bro.
is
You
what.
ever watch Naruto?
Nope. I'm
Uh,
not a Naruto fan.
uh,
That whole,
Alright.
I don't
Cause I
fuck
was
with
gonna
that, man.
say the Sasuke and Naruto relationship, for those who saw it before, Sasuke and Naruto, or I'll tell you, Sasuke and Naruto is like the two main kind of people in there. There's a lot of main characters, but they like the main two. But Sasuke
Naruto is the one who
with the
got the
blonde
blonde hair and
hair,
the headband.
yeah,
Okay.
and Sasuke, he's from the Uchiha clan, and his whole family was killed off by his brother when he was young. And
Okay.
Naruto, he didn't grow up with his parents either, but they was still able to instill this love into him that he was able to carry out into his optimism on how he interacted with the world. He was always like
Mm-hmm.
goofy about how he did it, by while Sasuke was real strong. He had he had a lot of skill about him. His clan came from having the highest skill amongst the five Leaf Village clans, which is where they was from. So
Oh.
they all grew up and they was like kind of rivals. That's just how they play it out. Like it's the psyche going on right now. The two things going on at the same time. Like yourself, the battle
Mm-hmm.
within yourself, but in this is played out Sasuke and them, or like just two different people talking things out. And when Sasuke got a lot of skill, he was stronger than Naruto in the beginning. He came off, but then once they started like bouncing off each other, they started leveling up each other. And Naruto
Right.
started gaining more skill because he was trying to compete with Sasuke, and Sasuke was just trying to do what he had to do because he wanted to avenge his clan after a while. So, but then he
Mm-hmm.
saw that he didn't have to avenge his clan. But it's a long story. It's like 1,000 episodes. Oh, probably way more than 1,000. But that's the overall story. And then they wound up like getting cool and balancing out their forces and coming together to defeat the Texagumi, which was an eye illusion that was being placed on the moon to cast an illusion over the earth to make everybody seem like they was living in a perfect heaven.
And that should be all about you. That's
Yep.
just you. This whole good, bad shit they put in movies and shit, you gotta, it's all talk about you. But we just look at it as entertainment. Your lower self gotta fight with your higher self until both of them balance each other out, understand each other. And now you good. You get to defeat the boss, the ego boss. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? You know what I'm saying?
Keep on leveling up, fight more bosses, or
The
play with
more I
bigger
deal
bosses.
with my lower self as my higher self, there's your battle. You know what I'm saying? The
Uh
more
huh.
my lower self wins,
That's
the
every
higher my
story in.
higher self has to go harder, etc., etc.
That's every story in history.
Every,
Well, every myth
every,
that we've been writing and reading and stuff.
straight up. You know, I'm working on a video now pertaining to certain aspects of that, and it's like, and we just talk about it. This
That's why I like the news
conversation, such a
stories.
simple conversation, is what this is called building. I call this is called building. It's a term called building. When you build, you conversate with each other. You build upon knowledge. This is normal to us. To us, to people who don't think close to this level, we speak science. Even though amongst us we're still speaking science, but to just giving credit to the conversations we have. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people don't even think on a simple level like this.
Ooh, wait.
Thinking,
There we go.
balance yourself. Everything's
Got it.
about you. Blah blah blah. People don't think like this. They think about work to survive, so they can work to survive.
And that's
Or
the trick too.
ugh,
That's the trick
ugh.
that feels like that.
It's an
That's
ugly
they're doing what they
motherfucker, ain't it?
supposed to do.
You
They're
look at the
only
earth like a
supposed to
cell.
do.
You look at
Mm-hmm.
the earth like a cell. You look at the people walking amongst this cell as parasites. Parasites aren't just bad, so don't take it as a disrespect. But we're just parasites on a cell called Earth. Every parasite has its job, its position, its lane to do what it's supposed to do for the betterment, and then it dies off and a new cell or a new parasite comes. That's us. That's reproduction. We die off after we do our job, and we just continue this. All these ideas of who you're supposed to be are just ideas. Just be. Look at just be. By just being, you're doing your job, quote unquote. You don't have to be the most intelligent. You don't have to be woke. You don't have to try psychedelics. You don't have to. You could be a virgin, never left the house. Just be you. Stay in your lane. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at us on this planet. We're like little parasites on this little cell, this living planet, this living cell, this beings.
I gotta be a
Just like the
parasite.
motherfucking parasite, you could be whatever. You could be whatever. A cancer cell. You could be a blood cell.
Like, I
You,
understand. I understand.
I know.
Messing
I
with you.
know.
Not romanticize,
Right, and you just do
especially
what you're
when you were
supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
All the knowledge. You ever think about like the Mucinex commercials? The boogers have their whole lives. They have a house. They have wives.
I was thinking about
This
the
is how
TV
we
and the
are, though.
couch.
This is how we, right. This is who we are. That's just a funny representation. What I'm saying as far as being parasites on a cell. You never thought about, does the cell have its own life? Obviously, it does. So we're those little lives. We're those little spermicides on attacking that egg. However you want to put that shit. This little bit of shit we do within this aspect and moment called life really means nothing without the impact of, well, okay, what did you do when you're dead? What's there now? Did you leave a building block, or were you just like a handicapped cell? What are you? Oh well, I'm John Doe. No, I didn't ask you your name. Who are you? Oh, you know, I'm a father. I didn't ask you what you do. Most people don't know how to answer that. They get frustrated with that because they're overdoing it because the ego is in power. The ego don't know shit about shit. The ego is just the experiencer. You feel the host, right? Good shit,
Yeah, the hopes.
Matthias.
I
So
said
you
Matthias.
gotta know who you are without trying to give me who people told you you were. When you can do that, now you're at a point where you want to be. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else don't matter. Well, it might matter to everybody has their own opinion, but to me it don't matter. If you don't know who you are, if I say just Ty, who are you? You say just Ty. I don't give a fuck about that. Just Ty, who are you? Well, I'm a father. I don't give a fuck about that. I like smoking weed. I don't give a fuck about that. Who are you? I don't know, nigga. Stop asking me. Okay, so we got work to do. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
I know. I know. I know.
No, that's all I'm gonna say is I'm here.
I am.
That's
I
me.
am
I'm
me.
What
I
here.
am
if you
love.
do
I am
say I
more.
don't know?
I'm here. That's me. I'm here.
That's Jessica just put that in there. I am me.
I'm here. That's
Absolutely.
it. I'm here. That's about it. Let's see what happened now.
Are you human? Are you a divine being? Which one are
Let's see
you
what's next.
operating from?
What if we do say I don't know? Like when you say
That's
who are
fine,
you? Say I
Yeah,
because
don't
I
that's
know.
can't tell you
we can
either.
just talk. It's like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Be
Oh,
I
be
thought
okay.
someone's like
unknown. Be unknown.
I
That's
don't
absolutely right.
Yeah,
Be
yeah, all right.
unknown. Malcolm X, the X means
yeah.
unknown. Malcolm X, unknown. So if you don't know, that's a start. Because at least you ain't
Yeah.
giving me, I'm John
Oh,
Doe.
No, no, no.
and
You
Chemical
feel me?
X.
Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls, unknown. Because you can't know the all knowing. And I'm not using religious understandings, I'm
Mm-hmm.
using the everything. You're not just one, you're all, but you're all compacted into one. So you're one and all in one. That's better than I'm John Doe. I don't know is a beautiful start. That means you at least you understand you're not John Doe.
No,
Right.
no. Like, at least,
You feel me?
yeah. You gotta start somewhere.
That's a beautiful. At least you're starting. That's the thing. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, oof. That's
But the
just a beautiful
starting for a
start.
lot of people, and for humans, period, that's when the chaos in the mind, they start. It seems as though it's getting bigger,
Chaos is
but
beautiful.
it's always been there. It's just you now seeing it for what it is instead of like masking it under something. But that's the only way to roll your boat down the river. You gotta get through that.
You just gotta
It's
jump
gonna be
in.
some waves
That's the start.
sometimes.
That's
The
Right.
waves fun to the people that can like master it. It was this surfer like doing this huge wave. Like I think I don't oh man, I don't even know what they said now. I think it was like 100 foot or probably way more than that. It was like as big as a
what?
building. It was a wave as big as a building and surfer was just
Okay.
riding it.
Absolutely. That started as a ripple, a little ripple, a little ripple. That's where all you gotta start. All you gotta do is throw a pebble out there. All you gotta do is take a baby step.
Giant
All you gotta do
Yeah.
at least take advantage of a small opportunity to look into self, to any aspect,
Yeah.
any
No,
aspect.
100%. There you go.
It don't take, look, a lot of people think, oh shit, I gotta be woke, so I gotta know everything about this. No, you don't. First of all, woke is a fad, so stop trying to be woke.
Exactly.
Woke, woke
We don't
is
even
to
talk.
get
We don't
into
even
the
talk
in,
like that.
right, right. Woke is trying to get into the in crowd. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yo, you know how weird it was for me? Cause I was all not all the things, but I was a lot of things that people was terming woke. But since I never had any friends, I didn't know what people was talking about when they started using the term. I was like, woke, like what?
What the
And
fuck
then when
is
I started
woke?
doing it, I was like, what is this? And then it had this set priorities and this how I was like, oh,
I make fun of people who say they woke.
Yeah.
I be on necks. I be on people's necks all the time. Like
but
I told you
it
earlier,
is
I'm
a
an
wake up
aggressive
call for
person.
some people. But you
Like
know,
you're
people
woke.
there in
Why are you woke?
tournaments,
Who told you you were woke? Where
like how
did
everybody
woke
say
come
Trying to
they,
be
from?
trendy.
like how everybody say they a
Trying to be
gangster.
trendy.
They's like, oh, I'm a gangster too.
Look, we're to the point where motherfuckers want to be called savages. I'm a savage.
Right.
Okay, you little fucking savage. It don't sound good like that, do it? No, I didn't think so. But you want to be a savage. Be what do you want to be? Oh, you want to be a hot bitch summer or some shit? You want to, okay, cool, cool. You want to be a bitch nigga, you want to be a butch bitch. Okay, I feel it. Yo, we switching roles now, huh? The men more feminine than the women, and the women more masculine than the men. Okay, we in a whole new world.
Right.
I don't know how I
We
got
in a
You
on
whole
seen
new
here.
that? You
world.
seen that meme where it shows the woman's thigh, shows the girl's thigh, and it shows the man's thigh right next to it. And it's like roles reversed, like nowadays. Like
Yeah, oh,
girls are
definitely,
stronger than men. Yeah.
definitely, and it's what we talking about.
Yeah, I think that's bound to happen on Earth. Everybody like, oh, it's these other forces within me, and I can balance myself out. And then people go into the complete
Yeah.
opposite side and get lost in that.
Right.
Right,
Like,
get
Right.
lost.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and just forget the other side and say that other side never got me nothing good to begin with. Now this is who I am. Instead of just
If that's
loving
what
the
we trying to do,
completeness of your whole.
be like Prince. Be like Prince. Just a little more masculine. But Prince was tapped into both
Just go get
sides.
a
He
relaxer.
was he was tapped in. Like when I was young, I
No
used to think that
blouse.
nigga was gay. But then as I got older, I figured out where he was at with it. I'm like, oh no, he can't be fucked with. He's unfuckwittable.
You can't be.
Bruh got the balance and chooses to be his a certain way.
Right.
He wasn't gay. He just liked the fashion part. He liked the sexuality part. I ain't mad at that because the females used to love him
My mom used to
because
have
he
a
was
full
pulling
cut
that
out.
shit.
Yo, bro, my mom used to have a full cut out life size poster in the basement. It was so
Bro,
creepy.
my mom is like the same. Anything print, she's grabbing it. Keychain, necklace, just the color purple that reminds her of him. She's grabbing it.
This
Like,
is the
Yeah.
90s. I was still a little kid. I
but
remember
he's gay. No, he's not.
that.
Nah.
He is what you would call a Latin lover, but not Latin. That man has got the key.
And then look how it came after too with the quote unquote conspiracy. You know, I mean, like he had the knowledge,
hmm
like he started to feel more comfortable sharing, like the
Absolutely.
mechanisms behind society.
Why? Because when you're unfuckwittable, you are unfuckwittable. He understood, look, y'all can do whatever y'all can talk about me all y'all want. That don't mean shit. Y'all can say all the things you want about. That don't mean shit. You can kill me. That don't mean shit. Because guess what? When I'm dead, I'm going to still be alive to millions of people.
Yo, you want to
You
hear
can't
some?
kill me.
You want to hear some Michael
Yeah.
Jackson Prince beef I just started just now?
Oh, shit.
Michael Jackson. It started off this meme I ran across. I guess that's what started it. I was just thinking because Michael Jackson and Prince was both Jehovah Witnesses, like to their tradition, so to speak. But
Right.
Prince never made a Christmas music or holiday music because he's Jehovah Witness. But Michael Jackson and them, they made all these Christmas songs when they was younger.
Right.
Like they kind of sold them. I don't know. I was just thinking like they was really playing the role. They was just. It was something they knew that music had power more than what they was even doing with their life. It was some point in my head I forgot. Beef over.
I thought you were gonna say who's better. Both legends.
Hey, you could go to that off of that.
They're very similar now that I think about it. I mean, they had different styles a little bit. Michael Jackson was coming with that woke stuff too. Like,
Yeah, he did.
I mean, using that
It was
word.
always more of a produced kind of thing though with Michael Jackson, I'd say. When Prince was a little more raw.
Right, he used the instrument.
Yeah, he played like 27, 28 instruments.
But you got to remember though too, like that dance was very powerful for Michael Jackson. Just that moonwalk.
But and Michael Jackson too. He knew. I guess I am comparing them right now. And Jessica, I used to go to she just wrote in the chat. She go to Jehovah Witness. I used to go to Jehovah Witness church every summer until high school, because I used to go to my grandma's house in Virginia, and we had to go to Jehovah Witness. We had to go to Kingdom Hall, and then she had the Bible studies, or I forgot what they called them, at her house. She used to host them, so I know what they talk about. I used to be sad when my sister used to be sad when it was her birthday and we were still in Virginia because she really wouldn't celebrate it. But,
I got a question for you, Ty,
Yeah.
and Blaxican, and Jessica, and Matthias, and whoever the hell. Do you think the birthday should be celebrated by the mother or the child?
Good question. Good question.
Well,
I have my
mom was
stance on
always
it,
there
but I
with
want
my
your
daughter.
guys' perspective.
I mean, my mom was always there with her with my sister. It always seemed like they was celebrating together. Parents always drinking anyway. Well, black
No.
families.
No.
I
They
hear
Do
what
should
you
be
saying.
you think
celebrated. Usually they should
okay?
be celebrated, right?
Hey, it should be
Right.
included, like acknowledged.
Should it be
It
the
should.
mother who celebrates the birthday, or should it be the child?
Like this the day I gave birth.
Whose birthday is it?
Uh-huh.
It's yeah.
I
Cause
think the
the
mother
person
is
was
always.
already. I'm sorry, Black Skin. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
I said because the
This is
baby
your
was
show.
already
Your guy.
alive inside of the womb already.
Right.
So it's
So
really like 9 months when it comes out, or 8.5 months, whatever you take. What, 8, 9 months? Yeah, that's true, bro. I never thought about that.
it's my mother, right?
My uh good he
Oh shit. That ain't
clean.
too
Oh
far.
man, you so many ways, King. He's really good. He's solid, man. He's solid, and
Straight up.
he reminded me about like how the baby we self-create ourselves. We're
Mm.
actually self-creating in the mother's womb. No one, you know what I mean,
I don't know how
birth to
that
us, but we
stream set is over here.
self-create. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those cells are.
There we
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. Yeah,
It's
go. They
a hell
just
of a
do.
thing.
yeah.
They just do. They do all the osmosis. I was about to make up a bunch of words.
But that's it. That's it. So I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
Mm-hmm. It makes
You
sense.
know, little shit.
And it's wild because my birthday is right next to my birthday. I was born 2 hours before my mom's birthday. I was born 10 o'clock at night. And my dad's birthday and my dad and my sister, they born 2 days apart, September 1st and the 3rd. But we
Mm-hmm.
kind of close on that, but the acknowledge it in that way is cool. It's cool. But me and my mom, we always kind of had that emotional tie. So I think having that emotional tie of like knowing of like birthday and giving it up to the mom and stuff really does make a difference because my mom and me is really, really close on a
Hey,
cool level.
post your Discord
Let me get
in
that.
the chat. Just when to jump on.
Bang bang.
Well, we got Blue Bottom Bunny or whatever, and Jessica in there.
Oh wow. Feminine.
Chilling. My TSA, you got a halo. It's a balance within ourselves to know which point of reference. It's a construct like everything. Halo with a horn on the top.
You're a unicorn. Silly.
Gotta customize it.
And
I was thinking of J. Cole's album
Yeah, I'm
too.
always.
That Saint and Sinner thing. Born Sinner, I
I
think
don't
that's
know
what it
nothing
was
about
called.
it.
I never heard any of the music off of it. I just saw the cover.
Yeah, Born Center, that's what it's called. Yeah, I don't listen to music, industry music at all.
I
I
always
listen
say
to
the
nothing
art
but
that they
underground
put out,
shit.
people really don't know about the art that they putting out and how like the dimensions that they come from. Somebody posted a Chris Brown. They was at a Chris Brown concert and they posted it in their Instagram story. And it was all this trippy stuff. Like it was fractals and all this. Chris Brown was getting large and small. It was like this screen behind him. And then he appeared and had this third eye on him. And then he came out and started dancing. I was like, what? I was like, they don't even
No,
know.
have
They
you
just
seen what
like,
he does
yeah,
at his
Chris
house?
Brown, Chris Brown.
What he does at his house, bro? He like supposedly he just paints all day.
He
Like
does. I
Who?
saw him
Chris
like he just
Brown?
painting his
paints it.
garage
Chris
and
Brown,
stuff.
hmm
Hmm.
constantly painting. He seemed like he on DMT 20%.
Yeah, cokehead.
So he's on something. Yes, that's
Probably Molly.
yeah.
But he probably had to take shrooms before. He probably had to take because he seemed kind of relaxed. Cause he could.
No, the link is right there, Jessica. You
And
got to
King
scroll
Oz.
to the bottom of his voice chat is at the bottom of his Discord. So you got to go
Oh
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
very
It's always
bottom.
at the bottom.
What's up, Blaxican? I heard you.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, is that probably how you stay clean? Why not like dirtying yourself with the mainstream?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even though I listen to underground, and the shit that I listen to like is okay. So I'll listen to some dark shit, which you might call horror rap, right?
Yeah.
And then but
Because it
I'll
was
listen to yeah, and then I'll listen to Devin the Dude, Sade,
there you
uh,
go.
you know,
Yeah.
Al Green from time to time. Like I'm in that mode, so I tap in and
Mhm.
out. But when I listen to industry rap, all I see is dudes in dress talking about lean, talking about sex, drugs, and money, promoting fuckery, and then they make videos to promote the visual side, not the audio, the visual now. And so I just stay away from it because I know, okay, I could listen to some shit that like Brother Blend and not be phased by it because I understand. But when I'm listening to industry music, you don't never know because the beat could be high or nice, and then you hear "Let's fuck, bitch." It's like, goddamn, you tricked the fuck out of me. I thought I was
Yeah.
in for like a good old family time.
That's how we was feeling when that song was playing, I
It's like,
suppose.
okay, so now I can't listen to it. So let me
Mm-hmm.
see what it look like. Oh, he's in a dress. I'm done. I'm done.
Right.
He got a pink
You,
choker on with motherfucking the pink Power Ranger tattoo on his forehead. I'm done. I'm
Swag.
done. I'm
you,
done.
that sounds like
Or you,
that cat
or,
from
yep.
Canton, Trippy Red. Isn't
Uh-huh.
he from around here?
Yeah. See what
Hey,
I'm saying?
Jessica.
Like,
Yeah.
I, I'm not. No, I don't support that. But he's
Yeah.
from your city. I don't know him. I don't care. Like, bro, put me out there. You want to see how it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Like, no, no. He be exposing us too much. Yeah,
Ty
you can't
got
wear
Lil
Tim's in a
Uzi Vert,
dress.
Huh?
the Philly
Right?
Red,
Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil
in
Ucifer. I
Philly,
hate that.
Lucifer, Lil Uzi
Like, so
Squirt.
what? Let him be
I told
Lucifer. I
Hey,
you.
they
still
all
don't
good.
care.
Yeah, I say they all good. It's just
Lucifer is
whatever's
a light
tuned in
bearer.
at the
Let's
beginning. Yeah, it's
not
just
do
whatever
that.
we get tuned
Nah,
into.
bro. I
Tuned into
heard you,
something else.
Ty. You did that one song, like in one of your freestyles. You used the melody for 21 minutes.
Yeah,
Uzi
you
Vert.
caught on. Thank
Like
you.
I like that song, bro. Like that song is tight.
Yeah, Ty be
However,
going
it's
in.
hot. Yeah. However, yeah, Ty is tight, bro. Like, but that Uzi Vert, it's like the melody is tight on that song. However, like King Oz said, bro, the beat is sick and the flow, but then the lyrics are kind of fuckery.
It is.
You know.
It's
Look into
when you
But no,
see
I'm
it
saying, but you
as
you flipped it, Ty. You brought life to it though.
no, I do because
You
I was in
you
that
transform.
state. I recognize where I am
Yeah.
when I'm listening to that song, and whenever it's playing, I'll be like, "Oh, this how I'm feeling right now," and so then I'll be
Yeah.
like, "All right, then this how I'm feeling." Like mushrooms tell me a lot of
Mhm.
that. This how I'm feeling when I hear this, and now this is what I'm saying. Just like Wayne used to do on every single beat. Like imagine how the mindset he was on back in the day.
Mhm.
You don't hear me?
Yep.
Yes, Jessica.
Hey, hey.
Hey, it wasn't working a while ago.
You say what?
It wasn't working a while ago. I had to like totally reset my phone.
Oh, yeah, we hear
Yeah,
you
it's
loud and
on
clear.
now.
But if you
Now,
look into I got an old video called "The Power of Music," and
Mhm.
I talk about how just going over quick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it don't matter what beat you use. It don't matter. Has to be mixed and mastered. Now, if I can get the beat to match the rhythm of your body, the frequency of your
Mhm.
body, I can hook you into a hypnosis without you knowing it. Once that happens, because all beats are mixed and mastered to a certain sound, certain
Mm-hmm.
volume, certain
Yeah.
frequency. Well, once I
so
got that established, I got you into a physical hypnosis. Now all I have to do is put the verbal spell down. Now, when you listen to the song, I already got you through rhythm. Your body is rhythm. So I got you completely. Now I'm putting the word spells on you. Once I do that, I can call you a bitch and have you shake your ass. I can tell you to sell drugs and be the man on the block. And you can go out there and want to be the man on the block. I could put on a dress and have you thinking this is okay because I've got you hypnotized. So the power of music, power of rhythm part of the spell
It's
is
like
very important. So you got to make sure you
It's the
pay
power
attention
of
to what you listen. You got to make sure you pay attention to who you listen to and have a conversation with on top of that.
That's when I say who
Because
your it's
tones are voices.
expression. Yeah, who's expressing themselves to you and how you able to take it in and still
Yeah.
realize your center.
I'll be right back.
Uh-huh. Hey Jessica, what was you saying?
All right, bro.
on the music like that. They said that mumble,
Mumble
jumble,
rap.
fucking rap.
Uh-huh.
But it's like people just saying shit just to hear it because you like to hear it or whatever. Or they're putting some shit in your ear, but you don't understand it. But you're like, what the fuck, you know? So it's like kind of shit. I don't know, like what he was saying. It's like God dog. It's like, what the hell? People rap about a lot of shit and you like it, but you don't really understand. That's why I always go into the lyrics, or I
Mm-hmm.
always want to hear
Yeah.
what they're saying because I want to
Right.
know exactly what they're saying. Because a
Right.
lot of them they don't even say the same damn thing. You know, when you go to the lyrics and shit, I'm like, man, y'all up your upside y'all's head, y'all retarded. A
And
bunch
y'all
of molly whoppers.
and you won't catch on for a long time.
Shit, that happened to me, man. I try not to, but man, look.
No, I
It
always
goes
been
to
a
your
lyrics guy.
subconscious. It goes to
Yeah,
your
I'm a lyric. I
subconscious.
like
Like
lyrics.
Yeah, and it is right in your subconscious.
like the mumbling, like you may
Mm-hmm.
not know consciously, but after you keep hearing it, it's gonna tell you to do those things.
And I was
You
always one
know?
of those people that was high enough to hear the music, the words though. Like on every Future
Yeah.
song, I was always around people saying, "I can't understand what he was saying." I was like, "Oh, I understand what he's saying, all right." But that's why I
Yeah.
understand the flow of what was being created a lot more, and what he was
hmm
creating even in my life, and I was like settling for it because I didn't. That was for me. It was. I see it in humanity too. It's like that's what we idolize is like what we really trying to get the energy out of is energy we really trying to seek within ourselves. So like that explosiveness and all that stuff that they come in is like you
Yeah.
feeding off of it, but it's in their flavor instead of it being in your flavor. So I forget my other point.
It, it happens. Hell.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's like
It's not your
it's like
natural
me
self.
trying to get along with my father. You know what I'm saying? It's like always been a big thing. You know, I'm older than other cats and shit, but look, it's like why everybody says why are you so worried about your father about what he thinks about this? Because you know what, he's my father and I love him. But you know, but maybe that's not always good for you. You know, maybe that's not always good for you to be like your father
Mhm.
or have his permission for him to like you because you know or stuff like that. So maybe you gotta look at it other ways. Of maybe you doing something right, and maybe he ain't.
Yep.
hmm
I went through the same thing. I said, "Oh, my dad chilling. He not all disturbed like my mom, or he seem cool. I gotta be like him." I went through the same thing, and I said, "Wait, he not. He lonely."
Yeah,
And he's still lonely right now.
yeah. And I
You
hate.
may not
Then
want to be
sometimes
like
you
him,
sit
but
there.
you
What's
can
it called?
respect them.
No, I do respect him because
Yeah.
he kept trying to come back a couple times and say, "Yeah, I heard you used to think these thoughts," and he tried to coming back, but mushrooms helped me see the story that's just what he's playing out and that he's just doing what he's doing his best. This was his
hmm
best programming he could do to the best of his programming because he's not an evil guy. Like he's not like a
Right.
fu family type of guy. Every time he
Yeah,
around, he say, "Oh, forgive me for not calling you in a long time." Like he always do stuff like that.
yeah. You just gotta look in different perspectives of different people's lives. You might not know the whole story about this and about that. You just
Mm-hmm.
kind of take it as it is. You know what, and be respectful. And you know, and just always consider him your father. But you know, you can always have a thought about him, but still have stay your distance away so you don't get hurt again.
Yep. Cause I never
Right.
really
That's
not
good
liked him.
advice.
I just didn't like that he was a Rolling Stone. So I just gotta sing the song. Papa was a Rolling Stone, and
Yeah, it
keep
was a
on
Rolling
going.
Stone. Mm, to turn it on. No.
I never even met my dad before. I don't even know what he looks like.
Oh, no
Some cool
Alright.
pictures,
shit.
no anything.
No, man. No.
Wow.
I can't ask my mom now, but she passed away. So
Did
I'm
you ever
back,
see
man.
their grandpa, like their dad?
no, I never seen that. All I heard was that he's from Swaziland, part of the southern part of Africa.
Oh, that's
Supposedly he
epic.
came to, yeah, but I never. But the thing is, like, that's the story.
Hmm.
But I did that. My wife got me that ancestry.com thing,
Yeah,
like DNA shit. Like, and I was all kind of leery to do it, but anyway, fuck it, I did. But it didn't
they
even say
got
he was
you.
from. I'm
Psych.
from. Yeah, they got me. They got my shit. but the crazy shit is that the test didn't say my blood was from Swaziland. It said I was from Mali,
Mm-hmm.
which is like
From where?
West Mali. It's like West Africa,
Okay.
but Swaziland's South Africa. So it's like I'm like I have all these more questions. So
Raleigh is where the slaves was taken from, right? Supposedly.
right,
Yeah,
yeah,
Molly. Yeah.
that's
that's
where the
the East
Dogon
Coast.
tribe is
I
from
mean,
too.
West Coast. West Coast.
The
Is that
Dogon
that
tribe.
same movie where Roots was
Yep.
made? Like, Roots?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I never watched Roots or The Color Purple.
I love the
I
color
ain't
purple.
watch.
I think
I
I
ain't
was
watching
black
that
more
bullshit.
like
That's a
purple.
bunch of bullshit.
Just hear you
I'ma
say
stop
it's
too.
so
That's a
funny.
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
It is.
I
It's a
I
like
don't
bunch
the
of
know, but
bullshit.
I don't know
hmm
because I
I do
sympathize with
know. It's bullshit.
what like past lives.
Listen, no,
No, no,
Amistad
no.
and the
What'd you
color
say about
purples and
past
shit like
lives?
that.
What'd you say about past
What?
lives?
Homicide's the worst one
Right.
Like
because they're arguing to a judge about is slavery wrong or not.
They got a bunch of
I never
strong
believed in
built
slavery. I
ox
mean, I
type
Right,
never
niggas
had.
on a boat and you think they
right.
ain't about to shut shit.
See, like I sympathize. Like even when I was little bitty old girl, I would like my mom would take me go buy a baby doll, right? And I'll always pick a
Mhm.
black baby doll since I was little. And I was so
Yeah,
like,
because it played on your ego as a white woman.
Right.
because
Just
I
like
was
those
a little girl,
movies.
I was
Just
fucking
like those
5 years
Yeah,
movies.
old. I was
yeah,
blind.
yeah.
The
I
Green
know.
Book.
Trust me. Straight up though, I'm not even being funny. This is why. That's
Yeah.
why
I played
movies
with the
like
Okay.
that.
white
We just
army
spoke
action
on shit like
figures.
that. We just spoke on shit like this. Look, the shit that they promote visually. I
Hmm.
use the music video, but we're using Amistad and shit like that now. It made you feel bad. It made you feel
Mhm.
remorseful, or whatever the word you just said. That's what the point was for that movie. We gonna make niggas feel one way and think one way, and we
Yeah.
know it's gonna play on the ego of the white collective.
No,
We
no,
know
no.
this. And
But
What
then
did
what
it
you
was
did you
like
say
get
they,
after
something out of
that?
it?
You went and bought. Hold up,
Uh
and
huh.
then you went and bought black baby dolls.
look, I was
Like,
like
come
5,
on,
and
G.
I don't know nothing about those
Oh,
movies.
I see. What you said.
You know what
Being a
I'm saying?
child
I
is
don't
the
know
most
nothing about that.
important and vital time, and we know that. See, this is the importance of psychology.
But there was no psychology about that, yo. It was
There
like,
There
no, I'm
is.
was
telling you,
still.
I did
It
They
not
didn't have
is
the
even see
movies.
that
psychology
shit. I never
They
even
didn't
knew
have the
anything
movies, but
about
they
that.
still had that shit.
You
Until you
just probably
seen
just
it,
liked it.
right?
I never seen nothing about it. My mom was like, "You don't want this baby doll?" I'm like, "No." I like her. She's pretty.
Mm.
And that's just what you saw. That's what you
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
like.
mean, I
Right.
like them
That's
because
what
they're
you saw.
prettier.
That's what you
Exactly.
like.
Yeah.
They did. They looked prettier than me. I like the skin. I like the way she looked. I like everything. And my mom was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna marry some black guy, but I married a Mexican." Then I was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah."
And then sometimes,
That's
depending on
close
the
to.
brand, they look better too, depending on the brand.
They got some that look dope.
You
Yeah, they
know,
got some that look dope.
some got some big ass heads.
They got the little hairstylist and shit.
Hmm.
Man, y'all be
My
tripping, man.
daughters be grabbing them up. Absolutely.
I would draw bras and underwears on because they never had any on.
Well, now they sell clothes, so we're good.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's all I see in my house is clothes everywhere. Where's the baby doll at?
Do you think it's okay for boys to play with dolls?
Yes,
Yeah, like G.I. Joes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
And
had
think
the
they
red
can
Power
play with
Ranger. I
whatever
had
they
the G.I.
want.
Joe. Hell
Let
yeah.
them express
and
themselves.
whatever's around,
I've
it
seen
just
kids have
They
fun
can
with a
play with.
stick and a rock.
Okay,
That's
we
my
got some
son.
baby
Yeah.
My
dolls
son.
and got two G.I.
Absolutely.
Joe
My daughter
men,
My,
has fun
a
with those.
Transformer.
yeah, there you go too. My son likes to rake leaves with the stick.
I'm telling you right now, you got like a little bit of everything. Then you dig up in the sand, you're like, shit, you found some fucking ancient ass fucking G.I. Joe man
Right.
that came back from the, like
I
shit, this is
found
my mommy
treasure.
dad. It's a
Hell
treasure.
yeah.
And you try to bend him and you
Hey,
fucking try to
Yeah.
put some shit on him, fix him up. He's got a missing leg and
hey,
arm,
it's
and a head.
different though.
Straight up.
It's different how they make the GI Joes. When I was younger, they made them small, but I think like
Yep.
our
Yep.
parents' GI Joe was like a big ass dog.
Yeah,
You
they
know what
I
got
I
them
mean?
had
cheap.
the little.
I had the little ones,
Hmm.
so you
How
could
about
bend the
my buddy?
arms.
Yep. The little. They
Chubby,
could only go up and down or out and
right?
in.
Their their knees can bend.
Was one of the two. Yep.
I thought it was wicked. I thought it was possessed when they can bend their knees and shit.
Oh
Like Barbie
yeah. That's
dolls,
when they
they
started
can
getting
bend their
fancy
knees.
with.
Their knee actually popped when they. I mean, my knees pop now. I guess they were old.
I used to
Yeah, I
do
don't
Yeah.
like
know.
wrestling men and fight them in
Me
the ring and
too.
There you
stuff.
go.
You remember? You remember the
I had the
Strong.
Legos. I
like
had
the
all of them.
stuffed wrestler doll that you could wrestle with, the little
I
like
never
almost
had it.
life
I saw the
size.
commercial.
Oh, they have like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yep, I had the Ultimate Warrior,
Yeah,
exactly.
lucky.
I didn't
Did
know that then, but I know now. I was lucky for real.
you ever make them
Yeah.
fly through the air like a matrix with their arms
I mean,
flowing? Like,
you jumping
ah!
off your dresser and shit like yeah, or the
Oh,
Ninja
get this
Turtle.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the times ain't what they used to. Like I won't. I
Right.
don't know if there's kids that still even do that anymore.
Right. I think we were the last generation. Like, I
Like
don't know.
damn,
I
y'all
think
don't
we're in
even
the
wrestle. Like damn, what?
Things like
No.
y'all was stupid. Wrestling. What y'all
we
spending
used to
your
put
time wrestling
fucking
for? We trying to build portals.
uh,
okay.
like for real.
We
But
eating
no, my
hot
kid like
chips
to
and
wrestle.
fucking
My daughter
building
like to
portals.
do karate with me.
I think that's what's missing in young men's lives. I was just talking to my lady about this like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, something like that. I don't know. Like I, I always focus on the masculine because I can't speak on the feminine. I can just speak my perspective. But for the
Yes.
mass fellas, dudes, young men, whatever you want to say, young homies, whatever, they don't wrestle each other and fight each other and shit no more. Like that produces testosterone. You feel me? It's
That's not
in you to
yeah.
wanna hold up, Justin. It's in you to wanna. I got it. He just came, but it's in you to wanna protect. It's in you to wanna be masculine and show dominance to a degree. You ain't fucking gonna pull out a gun the moment you get the better of them. Like, bro, we
Mhm.
was just playing. Like
Right.
I remember being on house arrest, and me and my two homies. His name one is Smurf and one is Ace. But anyway, I remember I was on house arrest and we used to like really go at it upstairs, like really go at it, and it was all
God.
love. Nowadays, like I've seen street fight happen because motherfuckers play too much, quote unquote. It's like, come on, bro. Just
Yeah.
you got to be able to harness your masculine energy better than this.
Exactly.
Yeah. When I was in when I was in middle school, even we used to push each other against the lockers. We used to bully each other in middle school, and
But
and then in college, that's what it was. When I got back to college, my friend Billy and the other boy, we used to just wrestle out of nowhere. They used to do it more than me, but they used to just run up, just come off the staircase and jump on the couch and be like, "Yo, what's going on?" And then we just see them rumbling across the floor, and then they'll get up and we start laughing and we'll smoke. Or we was probably
Right.
smoking beforehand, and
We
that's how it happened.
young homies don't do that shit no more. Like, bro, it's okay to put on some gloves with your homie, or
yeah.
go in the basement or in the closet and get around in or two. Like,
Hmm.
we're supposed to be breeding stronger.
Mhm.
But if you look at majority of the males or a lot of them, they're more feminine without the balance of the masculine. They're just feminine. Like,
That's why the
bro, you push
psychedelics
me
need
too
to be in
hard.
play
You
more.
slap me too hard. You slam me too hard. I gotta
Well, I
shoot you,
know
or
my
we
son,
arguing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, come on. We need more fellas being fellas. Straight up.
I'm gonna tell you, my son, he started doing this little thing. He moved back in with me. You know, his name's Connie. He moved in. He started showing me these videos and different stuff of how they be fighting. I said, "There's your friends, right?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Why y'all fighting?" He goes, "Cause we're just doing little fight stuff." I
There you
said,
go.
"Okay, well, you making sure nobody doing no pulling no knives, no guns, okay? Y'all make sure no ain't nobody too fucked up to go sit there and take the shit too personal, huh? You know, cause that's
That's
how people
right.
do."
Yeah.
And I'm like, he goes, "Yeah, everything's straight, everything's straight." I said, "Okay, baby." Well, I
Yeah,
say, "I'm
tap
gonna let
into
you know
that.
because
It's
that kind of shit happens, man." Because and I liked
yeah.
it because he did that shit. I said, "Just show him." I said, "Baby, look, use your weight, baby, use your weight, man. Look,
That's
you know,
right.
because I
Mom,
used to
help
do
him in that
boxing.
shit. Exactly. Because
I was
every
boxing. I said,
masculine
but
has its
I did some
feminine.
boxing. I was like, dude, boom. I said, just what you do. You cover your fucking ribs, you cover your face all at the same damn time. Boom, boom, boom. And you just go smack. Just slap the fuck out of him.
For
I mean,
real.
you know, and do a
Uh-huh.
backhand.
And I
Remember?
think and I think kids need to get into more extreme sports, kinda. Like kids is
Yeah.
lazy.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
skateboarding or doing something where you like pushing yourself to do it, and it's like you
Yeah.
can get
Absolutely.
hurt doing it at the same time. Like no
Yep.
cushions or nothing like
Skateboarding,
that.
yeah, motherfucker. That's technique right there. I like
You
watching
get
that show
all
on
that
that bike
aggression out,
channel.
and
Yep.
develop a
And you
skill at
learn
the
how to
same
keep that
time.
aggression. Keep that
Right.
aggression. Tame that aggression.
Yep.
Hey, wait,
And
Astro
also,
said, wait,
He was talking to you.
he said, Ty, he said, what did you go to school for? He said, oh, school for, I was undeclared when I went. No, I went for, um, I was undeclared for the first, like, week or something. I switched up and I was going for astrophysics. I wanted to be an
right.
astrophysicist. And, like, I wanted to do all
Uh-huh.
the math and learn about the stars. And then I wanted to go into theoretical physicists because I didn't want to work. I didn't want to be experimental and work with equations. I just wanted to, and build stuff. I wanted to just think and create math equations for
You
people
know,
to
just
work
like
with.
that,
That's pretty dope, Ty.
Uh
those
huh.
ladies, those ladies, did that. You know that movie is called Numbers with those three black ladies for
Oh, the one
NASA?
with the computer.
Yeah, yeah, and
With the
they were the
computer. Yeah.
ones. I don't know, understand why that shit was not inside of our fucking index books, and like, and it showed us that because there were black ladies that actually did it, and they had to pull them the scene. Why was that even taught? Why wasn't that even taught to us in school? You know what I'm saying? I don't forgot the name of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about? These three ladies.
Yeah, I know
It
what
was
you're
a
talking about.
movie.
I'm trying to
Oh,
think about it.
is it? It has that one chick that plays on Empire.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, Cookie.
Cheech. Yeah, I was
The
gonna
one
say
that's
Chi Cookie.
from It's Hard Out Here for
Uh huh.
that girl that's saying that
It's
song.
hard out here for a
Hustle
pimp.
Flow.
Yeah, you're talking about
There you
Hustle
go.
and Flow. Come on now.
Oh, wait, let me say this to Astro Way. Astro Way, I dropped
Hidden
out too.
Hidden
I didn't
Figures.
finish.
I apologize.
I
Yeah.
didn't finish either, bro.
Yeah.
When
It's
you are
called
not
Hidden
alone.
Figures.
It's called Jiggers.
Hidden
Wait,
figures.
what?
Hidden Figures. Hidden Figures.
Oh, I think you said
Hidden.
Jiggers. I was like,
It's a Jigga.
saying black
Like
Chiggers.
skins,
Jay-Z.
Jiggers. Like, what's next?
Shit.
No, I ain't never seen
Nah,
that.
nah. Hey, I wanted to say this about when you're talking about extreme sports. Another thing that helps with is showing you how to do things on your own. Because like I grew up playing like team sport, like basketball, football, baseball, and those are fun and they teach you how to cooperate, and
Right.
stuff, work in a team. However, it's kind of setting you up to be a worker,
Yep.
in a sense that like, you'll be able to work with different types of people, and don't try to do too
Dependent.
much. Just do just exactly. But whereas like skateboarding or mountain climbing, like you're out there by yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You push yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just
I
you
think
and your
both are good.
thoughts.
Yeah. I wish I would have done more individual sports, but now I can do them now too. I'm like,
Absolutely.
still got a lot of years to go.
Yeah, you do.
Absolutely.
It's an infinite amount of time.
See, my sports was basketball, Then I went to jail, got out. Then it was wrestling, and I was number one in the state for a little bit of time.
Damn.
Then I went to boxing and yeah, boxing. So
Boxing.
because I was
Yeah.
a dope ass hooper, but
Mhm.
like I said, I've always been the center of the family, the blah 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 blah. So it was always me, always depended on me. So I went towards more me sports like wrestling and
Yeah.
boxing.
That
Because you
rough
like
shit.
once again, you gotta
Yeah.
tap into that aggression. You gotta tap into that survival instinct. You
Like the
gotta
primal.
be able exactly. You gotta know that
Right.
without going over the edge or not doing enough. It's either one of those two that a lot of
And
people
that's how you become a
nowadays. They either have
psychopath.
too much
Mhm.
uncontrolled. Right.
You want to shoot
You
up the
got,
school
that's
No, a lot of
crazy,
because
people
it's
Ty.
like
got
Because
they don't want to
bad.
last
control
night I was
reality.
watching American Psycho.
Oh wow,
Hey,
that's my movie.
hey, Married with a
Right,
chainsaw, you out of your fucking mind.
That's a good book too.
And
but
yourself
that's what you
looking at
see when you
a
talk to people. You
Yep.
talk about something that they don't like, you'll see that aggression just pop out. They don't have control over that emotion yet, that
yeah.
Vision.
frustration. That it's
Right.
like, okay, I know what's up because I've been there already. So I got to tap into my experiences and to be able to function with this motherfucker. People
Yeah.
that are too aggressive or too emotional, it's like, okay, I get it. I know where you're coming from and I know why. And that might
Almost like
make them frustrated.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Astro, that's King Guys talking. I gotta get Ozo on here one day.
Yeah, this is King Oz, G. But I went to jail for robbery. I went to jail for felonious assault. I went to jail for uh, fighting police. I went to jail for fighting police, and I went to jail for
fighting another police.
what was it? Disturbing the peace and
Fighting
uh, beating some nigga. I'm a violent offender. I'm not even
yeah,
being funny. Like if you
Just sum
check
it
my
up.
violent.
shit, all my shit is violent offense.
Could be a trustee then. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I have did violent shit, but I never get caught. I just take off, boom, gone. But
The shit I
look,
should have got caught for, I never got
You
caught
ain't
for.
never do
And the shit I
nothing.
did get catch
You ain't
for,
do nothing,
I didn't even
basically.
think I was wrong.
look, it's some boy shit. It's like some whole ass shit. Like because I got like 7 felony thefts. Okay, so I've been in and out of
Oh
jail.
shit, we dealing with a thief. I'm bullshitting you. I'm bullshitting you.
No. I
I'm
do it only.
bullshitting
No,
you.
listen. I only do it for the stores, like Academy, Macy's, and
That's
They
Walmart.
crazy.
deserve it.
Okay,
They deserve
And that
that.
lightweight makes a difference though.
but I don't do this shit no more because I'm too scared, yo. You know,
What
I
breaks
am
the person?
scared, but I do it. But fuck, I'm just saying. But no,
Oh no, Astro ain't nothing to be
but
mistaken me
because you
for
know
hoes,
what?
so
I
I
have
don't care.
not
It's
had
cool.
a felony. I have not been back to jail in over almost 8 years. So I'm very much proud of myself. So I'm very
You
proud of
know,
myself.
Keep it
there's a
up.
Because I
lot of
used to go to
bullshit
jail
that comes
every
with
other fucking
law,
weekend,
so
man.
it's
Shit.
easy to go to jail nowadays. You can go to jail for just being you. You can go to jail for being
Okay.
black. You can go to jail for having your own lawn care business in the wrong neighborhood. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
so,
Because
a lot of the times
that's why
it's
I
not a
don't get
reflection of the person. It's a reflection of the system. A lot of the time.
You
exactly
gotta get that
because
city
Like,
when
license or something.
people sit there and
no, I'm talking about the situation with a young black boy.
Oh, claiming
He was
territory.
no.
Oh no.
He started his own little lawn care business, and he
Uh-huh.
was no, doing the groundwork, going house to house,
Yeah.
asking people.
did you read that
And
book?
hold up, and somebody called the police on him, and told him like get out the neighborhood, you can't run your business and all that. And a
Oh, I seen
celebrity
that one.
came and got him all new equipment and everything just to look out for him. So you can go to jail
Wow.
for
Right.
just trying to start a business.
Hmm. Yes, you can.
Like damn, goddamn,
Mm-hmm.
he's just trying to make $20.
I
He's
try
a
to start
young
my
man
own
that's trying to
marketing
do
business.
something in a legal, legit way. Leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they rape you in America, bro. Like, not
Absolutely.
that it's better other places, but here, bro, you can start like a little food cart. Like, you don't have to pay no
Uh-huh.
license. Just got the
Now,
money.
once you
You
look,
buy
if you
the.
look into the law, it say it's up to the people to maintain the land. So
Mhm.
let us do it.
Right. Right.
That was
But you
actually
know,
a
I'm
it's
good
cutting the
one.
different in
grass.
different
I'm
states.
giving that.
It's
I'm giving
different in
Earth a
different states.
haircut.
If you go to different
You
states,
feel
you
me?
got different weird shit. You
Yeah,
got reckless
paper.
eyeballing.
Was
You got a
drowning in the
state over
ocean.
there in Louisiana, bitch, you up for reckless eyeball.
Yeah.
Now I'm
What do you
not
mean
playing.
reckless
It's like a reckless
eyeballing?
eyeball. All eyeballing fucking damn law. You can't be reckless eyeballing some white girl and share a white person because they
Yep.
call it reckless eyeballing. And I'm
You know
like,
it's
what
a.
the
Emmett Till
fuck?
law.
You know it can be considered an assault. It's either assault or rape. You might have to correct me if you look into it, but
Mm-hmm.
you can get charged with assault or if you tickle somebody too much.
Look
She
that
done
up.
peed on herself.
Look it up.
I know what pissed on myself. I'm like, God damn, you
If
know,
it
they
ain't
took care
rape,
of it.
it's assault. If it ain't assault, it's rape. It's one of the two though.
I don't understand that. I mean, who would fucking follow up with that shit? Some fucking hatred ass son of a
Listen,
bitch.
what's her name? Barbecue
Whoa.
Becky. She would. She would. Y'all know
She
who
what?
Barbecue Becky is, right?
No.
What? The woman who called the police on the young black family having a barbecue at the park?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, Barbecue Becky, man.
But come on, tell me
Hey,
the
bro, that was
details.
Oakland, California, bro.
See?
Oakland, California. Yeah,
I'm in
Lake
Texas,
Mary,
man.
East Oakland.
That shit really
I'm in
happens.
Houston.
Barbecue
It
Becky.
happened, bro.
Parking
Yeah.
lot Patty.
Yo, bro, you right.
I don't know. Okay, look, okay, I
I
guess I
know.
have to look the
I
shit
know
up.
I'm right.
Like,
Yeah, I know I'm
It's
right.
abuse. It's common
let
tactic
me
There
of
we
guess what
go.
bullies
it
to
says.
Abuse.
torture by tackling and
You found
tickling.
it, yeah.
They
I was
said
looking
by
for it.
bullies. Tickling is
You see
also
what I'm saying? So
a
like
protosexual
Tickling?
activity that is very
there we
much in
go.
the gray area between okay and unacceptable. So in that
There you
context,
go.
yeah. And what you tickling me
But
for?
you,
But you
Make
the
you laugh.
overall is stupid as shit.
But you know, it is kind of a assault when somebody's really ticklish.
come on, it's making.
Come
No,
on, man.
Yeah,
because
my
I'm
cousin used to do
Come
it
extremely
too,
on
ticklish.
bro.
now.
People don't believe me. They're like, I'm
Some people be
extremely
ready
That's
to
why
ticklish.
we got
punch
so many.
people when you tickle
I'm
them.
extremely, and I'm like, I will
Yeah,
piss all
but
over
that's why we
myself,
got
and they said,
weaklings everywhere.
man, look,
God
Straight
I will
up.
damn.
piss. But no, I wouldn't press no fucking charges on nobody. But
Like he tickled me
goddamn,
too much. Like, come on, I'm
you
going to
just
jail.
ticked me
I'm not about
hard.
to go to jail for this. I'm gonna have to beat you up before I go to jail because I'm not going to jail for tickling. Hey nigga, what you in here for? Hey
You're
man,
about to
I'm in
say
here
that.
for some
My
You
mom
cold
used to
stone
say she
tickling.
had dreams of this old lady that used to tickle her to
somebody
death,
tickle her to
and
death.
that was her excuse for saying don't tickle her. I used to have this dream.
I had a dream.
I got 40 days for tickling.
Straight up. Like I'm not going to jail for that.
The
I'm
tickle
going to
monster
jail
is
for some real
real.
shit. Man, I heard you tickled her, made her laugh, and then beat her up. Hell yeah.
Oh man,
Why? Because I'm
boy,
not
shit.
coming in here for tickling you. You're
And
not
they
about to
laughed,
do
and
me
the
in.
chick laughed at them backwards because they done beat her up, and she's still laughing at them.
Right, like, god damn. I got
I feel
3
like
years
I'm
for
being
tickling.
tickled right now.
Years for tickling. I got the tickling disease.
Like, ain't this a bitch? It's a terrorist threat if you tell somebody you gonna beat them up or kill them.
Yeah.
Too much.
So, like I said, sometimes going to jail is not a reflection of your character. It's just a fucked up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people did the
you
same
know.
thing and just ain't get caught,
Like, how you
or
Or
they
gonna
just
they,
ain't
condemn the
fight a
mother who
cop.
stole diapers because she couldn't afford it? Is she really wrong? She taking care of her kids and she ain't hurting nobody.
exactly.
But what do you think about like this sovereign citizen, like how they try to take the Moorish sign, but
The
then some
Moors
people
and the
go
Moorish
overboard with it.
sovereignty, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
What
some
does
Yeah,
that
people go
mean?
overboard with it because they don't know.
look, this is all I'm gonna say about it, because without building too deep into that, sovereignty is not something you ask for. Sovereignty is not something you sign papers for.
Yep.
Sovereignty is not nothing like that. You take your sovereignty. You are sovereign to begin with. When you say, "Oh, I got to sign these papers so the government can understand that I'm sovereign and blah," and I get out of these laws and these statutes, blah blah. No. To be sovereign is just to be.
Mhm.
Say, hey, instead of going to the store to buy my food, I'll grow it. Hey, instead of buying my clothes, I'll learn how to sew in it. Hey, instead of getting the education from a system, I'm just going to be self-taught or teach my kids at home. hey, instead of going by John Doe, which I know is a corporate name, I'm going to give myself my own title. Hey, that's sovereignty. That more shit is to make money. But the nationality science to it is on point. But that whole sovereign system shit that they say, hey, buy this little paperwork, get this card,
Scam.
your sovereign card, get an L or Bay by the end of your name and you're good. No, 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 because those are Arab names to begin with.
I
No,
know. I'm about to go get
just
them.
claim your sovereignty, be sovereign,
I
do
know.
for self. That's sovereignty.
Can you close
That
the door?
is sovereignty.
Yep.
I studied the more science a long time ago and I was infatuated with it because it sounded so beautiful.
Mhm.
And then I got into law and all this other shit. And I was like, well, if I'm sovereign to begin with, why am I asking for sovereignty? So I looked into that and I got to get approved to be sovereign as a sovereign person already. That don't make sense.
I don't know.
Right.
Yep.
So if you want to be sovereign, be sovereign. You're already
Right.
sovereign.
I was looking up the etymology for the folks watching and stuff, like
The
breaking
what?
down the etymology of sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like from the Latin meaning super, and then it means to reign. So you reigning above. Like I was gonna say
So
Super Saiyan,
look,
but
if you want to be sovereign, look
Ladies,
into
that's the thing.
look into the Latin term. I'm giving you law.
mm-hmm.
This is law. Sui, SUI
Hold
space
on.
J. Okay.
SUI.
SUI
Uh-huh.
space JURIS.
Yeah, it came right up. It's like the third
Suigery,
thing.
improper persona. This is law. This is sovereignty. You're always improper persona or suigery.
Of
You've
one's own's
always been
right.
this.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. You're
Mm-hmm.
always sovereign. You're always suigery. You're always improper persona. Or you should be. Improper persona is being sovereign. Being sovereign is being suigery. Same thing. Same fucking thing.
I used the same avenue for me a while ago, before when I was and
All
looking up
this
this
is in
guy
my
Mark
book that I'm
Passio.
writing for the family. So if y'all want to grab a book, this will be in there.
It's only $25.
I'm gonna grab one.
I'm gonna get mine.
It's
Me
only
too.
$25. Oh
No, it's
shit!
35.
I
It's
forgot.
35,
35.
35. My bad. False advertisement.
No, no, just a
No,
mistake. Just a
Todd's
mistake.
gonna pay 10. Todd's got 10 on it.
Hey,
Hey, I'm
I'll
broke,
send
but
one
we
of
It's
y'all
only
finna
half
get
the
this
book and the
$35.
guy.
other half the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cause I
Y'all
just
put it
want to
together.
support the fam, and
Straight
all
up.
everything that we doing. Cause it ain't nobody
So,
else going to. Well,
you
if it's
know,
eventually, but if it doesn't, at least we can say, hey, our friends was there.
Right.
so this is what it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, some people say you're your own God. Some people can say sovereign, or you're just
Mhm.
yourself. It's the same universal concept. Concept, maybe not wording or definition, but concept. To be self. It all comes down to that. No matter what we talk about, it'll always come back to self. You have that power, or you don't. You see what I'm saying?
Or you acting
Cause,
like
We
you
just
cause,
don't. And you don't know how
right.
much that
And they
absolutely
are
acting, how
Astro
deep
Way.
that acting is. That acting go
right.
deep. People deep into hypnosis.
Absolutely. And it's just like we can't say we're better off than anybody else. We can't say because they don't take trips or they don't believe this metaphysics, philosophy, all this shit, that we're better than them because we're doing the same thing they're doing to us then.
Mm-hmm. We
Yeah.
just
You see what
playing
I'm
the
saying?
game on another level. Well, at like you're just playing it with different items and different abilities, but it's the
Yeah.
same
You
game.
gotta look at
We
it
just
from the
can do this
middle
now.
perspective. The middle. Yeah, that's it. You can't say, oh, well, since you don't take trips and you've never seen this,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know nothing
Yeah.
about shit. Or you can't say, well, since you do take trips, you're a crackhead or whatever the fuck people who
Mm-hmm.
say shit like.
Yeah.
No,
I've been on
you
both
just have a
sides of the
different
field.
spectrum of
Right.
exactly.
I've been
Thank
on
you.
both sides. Cause
You
when
know
I was on
what?
the other side, people wasn't taking me serious, so I wasn't taking my own thoughts serious. And then afterwards, the trips, I was like, oh, all that stuff that I really was, that really was the stuff I was supposed to take serious, and really was on board with things. And now, like, now I got those thoughts. People looking at me like a crackhead. Like, oh, well, I'm not a crackhead.
Uh-huh.
Got all this science to just debunk that right off the face. Like, I don't even
But
gotta
you
worry about that
understand
no
where they're
more.
coming from.
Yep. So now I see
Yeah.
it, see it all. Cause I even had
Not
those
even
thoughts,
mad at them.
taking a hit and being like the first and like, oh man, what did I just do? Or like
Hmm.
when I just think things are going wrong, trying to blame it on, oh man, that was a
Right,
drug. They said
right.
it was a drug, but that was in the early days. But I'm glad that I got to face that for myself, so that I can really like say it for myself. Like it's not like
And
that.
Because
that's the beauty of us, man.
they want to identify you as something because they identify themselves. They
Yep.
don't get the
Yeah.
fact that we don't have to play their game. We don't want to
Yeah.
play their game. You know
It's
what
like,
I
who
mean?
are you? Who do you think you are?
Right.
And it's really that easy. It's not even a bad thing that they saying that, like, but it just come off like that. That's how it comes off.
Their tone is their tone.
Yeah.
Mm.
But hey, bros, I gotta go pretty soon. I gotta go walk this lady dog, so I can make this little cash.
Make your
That's
money,
the
man.
man
Make your
verse.
money.
Gotta walk these dogs so we can live in a mansion with that.
I'm gonna try to tap in on your I'm gonna start trying to tap in more so on your streams, man.
Hey, I love it. I love
Try
it.
to get this Discord popping for you.
Uh-huh. We all
Love
over
you,
Epic
here.
buddy.
build right here.
All
Epic
right, now. Have a
build.
good
Tell you,
day.
ever since that trip, it's all changing up once again. Every time I have a good trip, it's feel good. Things
Yeah,
like
man.
get doper and doper. Just life is doper and doper. The
Shit.
appreciation of it.
You come on more so all throughout the day. We'll be here, just like we be on the other joint. We'll be here too, cause I want to see y'all when I get on too.
Yep, we're gonna be there.
Oh, we'll be there. We'll be
Just
there.
don't buy
Oh
another
yeah,
Chromebook.
straight up, for real. I was salty, like what the fuck? Damn,
All
good
right, bro.
shit though,
Thanks
Ty.
for coming by, King guys.
Absolutely, Ty, Blaxican, Jessica, every Matthias, Ash your way. Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey,
Thanks,
appreciate you.
King.
Oh yeah, thanks
Thanks,
for coming by,
Ty,
Jessica.
Jessica.
Hey, no problem, yo. Y'all already subscribe to your ass anyways.
Hey, and
All right, bye.
Blunny, yeah, thanks, Jess, coming through.
No problem.
Mm-hmm. And
Speaking
Blue
of,
Bunny-
for
and what?
Blue Bunny, bye.
bottom,
Blue
whatever.
Bottle Bunny
I like her
Farm?
trip. I like her trip.
Blue Bottom, my bad. I forgot all about her.
Yeah.
Peace,
Hey,
Yeah,
her
peace.
channel's good. Her
that
channel's
trip
good.
that was that first trip that what's his name did. True Love did, but it's like he did that one cartoon thing, like like I thought that was cool. She's got a bunch of them on there. I read a few of them. Then she got some trippy ass shit.
Yeah, it's in the Trip
Her
Stories
her
in
channel's
the
lit
True
too.
Life Discord.
Ain't it?
Her channel's lit. Yeah,
Yeah, playing
Yeah, yeah.
guitar.
she has a good channel.
It's like a quiet little gym, man. It's like a little gym.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna put the link
Awesome.
to all of her stuff in the description. In this one, I'm gonna figure it out. All right, I'm gonna go over here.
Hell yeah, man.
Thank you, Astro
Make your
Way,
money,
for coming
Ty.
through.
Appreciate you, G.
All right, just
All right,
and guys,
thank y'all
thank
for
you.
popping on the Discord.
All right, y'all. I'm
Yep.
All right, thanks, True Fam. Like,
Later.
Holla.
Yo, and this thing I always say is, man, we all tie, but do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Till next time, check out all the Instagrams, the Discord. As y'all see, the fam is on here. Y'all can share y'all stories, however it come about, however weird. If y'all just want to giggle, laugh real quick, do whatever it is, man. It's gonna make me laugh, and then that made my day. Y'all don't even know. So I'm gonna keep going with this, and Ty always.
Tell you. Just tell you. Just tell you. Okay, look. How do you get on Discord?
Huh?
How do I get on a Discord if I want to do a talk show?
Oh, just write me. Just let me know.
What do you mean? I mean, I want to do a show like I want to do my own fucking Discord.